funding DHS and warning that they're responsible if something bad happens.
Fox's chat program. Democrats who want immigration enforcement reforms say Republicans should support splitting ICE and CPB funding from other DHS agencies. America is listening to Fox News.
Oh, shit, here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis. He's got the red helmet on. He's got the Piggy Porco Arco helmet with Arkansas. Oh, the Suey, and the mechanical mangler flounder at the control. I've lost my... I've never seen a hat like that. Holy smokeroonies. Wow, this is something... Is that the Arkansas Suey pig, or what do you got going there?
That's a Razorback.
Razorback. There you are.
No, that's Pete's face.
Mercy.
No, that's Pete's face.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't want to say it personally. God. Poor bastard. Anyway, here we go. It's freaking Monday. I don't know why it feels like I've been off for a month. I don't know what happened. I'm totally discombobulated. I'm just very bizarre.
Did you go for a bike ride this weekend?
I did. Well, actually, it took two little... Well, let's not talk about me first. Let's talk about you guys. Pete Davis, the mountains of Macon. Exciting weekend of any kind here. Okay. It's Pete Davis's birthday. And as always, we totally ignored it. Yes, it's true. Pete Davis, happy birthday.
Well... Thank you, and it's snowing for my birthday.
I hear it's sleeting up here. It's pouring down. I mean, and of course the sun's out here at the battery, but coming in, some blowing over my deck. Power out. I mean, the gas station's power was out. Tried to get gas, they shut down. I mean, it's just, the traffic lights out, swaying in the breeze in Alpharetta. Really, seriously, yeah. It's just very bizarre. But right now it's sunny at the battery. It's cold, but it's sunny anyway. So, are you okay? You didn't. Where's Ken Cook when you need him? Or David Chandley. Either way. Anyways,
he's retiring too, David Chandley.
I hear, after 75 years or something. It's an incredible story. Well, that's so an exciting weekend. And birthday plans, happiness.
Basically did that over the weekend. Did that Saturday. Went out to St. Patty's Day parade and stuff like that, and had a good time. Ate like a king. I've eaten more cake in the last week than I've ever eaten. And
I guess a lot of communities are having a St. Patty's Day parade other than on St. Patty's Day, so that people can enjoy it on the weekend. That's why they do it, I assume, right? More people get a chance to do it after work and stuff like that. In fact, my former son, the barman, his birthday is on St. Patty's Day. Which is strange, wherever he may be. Anyway, well, and Flounder, of course, and Mrs. Flounder, lovely Veronica. Any weekend activity, fun times?
I enjoyed some nice outdoor weather on Saturday and yesterday, actually. So spent most of it outside on the deck.
Excellent. That was. In fact, I did I got a chopper ride in on Saturday and a chopper ride in on Sunday, right before the weather turned bad. And then
did you keep your wallet in your pocket?
Oh God, I tell you, every time I get in my car, the last thing I do is and I take it out so I can see it.
You need to get a chain wallet.
I know. And in fact, I think it was our friend Denise was saying I should get one of those wallet trackers, or what the hell, some kind of a beeping thing you can look up where your it's like a wallet. There's a Facebook thing, a wallet.
AirTags.
AirTag, yeah, like an AirTag for you to find your wallet. But again, it was stupid. And thank God bless that lady in the neighborhood. Just I see her walking out. Is this by chance? Anyway, but I did get a chopper ride in Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm killing myself because on the golf course right before it started to rain yesterday afternoon. I discovered the secret to how I can shoot.
Did you go hit balls?
I hit balls, and I discovered almost the time to stop a key to my golf swing, which made me hit the ball better than as well as I ever did when I was a 2-time club champion many years ago. And it's all in the grip. And I realized, oh my God, I was changing it on the way down and changing it on the way back. And it's so silly. And when I didn't do that, I thought, oh my God, and the contact, I'm killing myself because now I want to play golf again.
Well, it's just about to be the weather for it.
I got the secret. Well, but I don't play anymore.
Get McLefty out there, and me and Veronica will go play again.
Well, in fact, I'll go. Let's make a deal. I'm going to this year. Now, Veronica does she still play?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this year, we'll get Danny McLefty, and this year we will go out someplace, and I will shoot my age.
From what tees do you want to play?
Oh, I'll probably play the senior tees. I can't play the backs. I can't play the back tees anymore. But I'll play the men's tees or the senior tees. I'm going to be 80, so. I can do it. I know I can do it.
Did you ever play with graphite? For irons, at least, I guess.
Many years ago, when graphite first came out, this had to be in the 70s, maybe, right after they started doing steelhead. Remember, drivers in 3-woods were wood. For most of my life, and then it was only in the 70s where they became metal. There was no such thing as metal-headed drivers in 3-woods. Anyway, so right about that time, they came out with graphite shafts, very light. The only problem with graphite to me was they were a little too flexible because I'd had kind of a fast swing. But that would be. And the other thing is, my clubs are not fit for me. My clubs are pro. I mean, they're tour blades. So real stiff shafts and everything, and they're tour like pro blades.
I mean, if you found your swing again, you should look at maybe getting a new set of clubs
Well, I would if I belonged to a club and I could play every weekend or something. I would, but I can't. I can't.
So you're saying the days of stiff shafts are behind you?
The stiff shaft is way gone. But I do have a good grip. I got the grip. How ironic! Oh, you got the grip and nothing to put it. I said, my God, man. Oh, now wait, it's way out of context. It's way out of context. Handshakes. Handshaking. I'm talking handshaking. Oh, my God. They don't handshake. Oh, God. The morning boys listen to the first part of the show, and they're going to rip me all to pieces tomorrow. It's unbelievable. Well, at least one of them will probably be there. I mean, usually, it depends on who's...
One of them will be, yeah.
It depends who gets the day off. It's just kind of a floating thing, Anyway, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. It's Monday, and what the hell? By the way, if you have an issue with weather or something, or power outages, it was a real weird in Alpharetta and Roswell area, and Pete's saying, what'd you have, snow? You have snow flurries now? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, it's snowing. There's snow on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, again, I'm out like a lion, in like a lion, and out like a lion, apparently, for March. I guess of course, only halfway, so we'll see.
Yeah, halfway.
Anyway, here's our number. We'd love for you to join us, whatever's on your mind. We got the we Oscar stuff. We got the war in Iran. We've got Democrats. We've got gender issues. We've got where are the women stuff. We've got a million things here. We have Pete's tweets. We have an AI update. We have Flounder's Funnies. Holy crap, it's sports. And here's our number, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Let's see. Pete Davis's birthday. If you want to send wishes, this is very exciting. A couple of things before I forget. Again, still be careful. I almost hit a deer. In Roswell, coming, a 30-mile-an-hour road through in the wood area. And luckily, a car was coming the other way, and we both realized what was going on. So they're still out there, and I don't know whether it's rutting season yet. I think it's probably a little early. But anyway, when the weather gets good and the deer are bounding around, just be careful. Again, and I did hit one last year. At night in the wintertime, came bounding out of nowhere, and he glanced off the front of my car, bounced off my car, and took off.
See them probably every morning in our backyard.
I'll bet, yeah.
And yesterday morning, we saw one that was limping.
Probably got hit by it.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if it got hit or hurt itself.
Yeah. Wow. Well, again, just be careful, and just because we love our little four-legged creatures. 404-741-1230. So, by the way, for the record, Speaking of four-legged creatures, I'm now going to try to make a vow. I'm no longer going to watch those reels, R-E-E-L, those reel things that pop up on my phone when I open my Facebook page and the thing says reels. And I'm no longer going to watch the ones where people are sitting around in chairs in a circle and they bring a dog out. And the doggy, have you seen these? The doggy walks around to pick his new owner. Oh my God. I saw one a few minutes ago. I almost didn't want to go on the radio. I saw one a few minutes ago. This freaking little girl, she could have been 9, 11, 10 years old, something like that. And she's sitting there, and this little puppy, little teeny, could have been an 8-week-old puppy, wiggle his little tail, wander around. Boom, he jumps into her lap and starts licking her face, and everybody starts bawling.
You know what that is? That's an AI video.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Why do I do this? I know it's a bunch of crap.
On your kid.
What's that?
You rub bacon on your kid's face.
Well, I have a bit. You know, in fact, you want me to tell you a story? Back when I was actually not hideous and much younger, and girls actually wanted to kind of go out with me. And there was this one blind date chick, and she mentioned that she was a dog. She had a doggy and a dog person. So I brought a dog biscuit in my pocket when I went to meet her at her house. And her dog was all over me. Oh, God, my dog just loves you. Yeah, does it really help you to have?
What happens if the dog goes there and doesn't pick anybody? Just sits there and goes, nah.
Well, of course, it's all fake. But again, why do I do that? And I know they're all fake. I know they're not real, but they're so sweet. And it's just, but then I'm...
Not only that, what they do, too, is they'll write a paragraph about the story, and at the very bottom it says, this is AI.
Yeah, well, I've got to stop doing that. That's driving me nuts. Anyway, all right, look out. Here we go. Kimmer Pete Flounder. It's on Monday already. And now some Democrat. Oh, this is suspected child molester Chuck freaking Schumer now wants to vote for DHS, but he also wants to defund the police. You freaking phonies. Coming up, Kimmer Pete Flounder. Look out. Here we go. Stand by.
If Minnesota has shown us anything, it's that the left will side with rioters over America. The real immigration crisis is inside blue cities, whose years of soft on crime, open border policies are now colliding with public safety. Atlanta's conservative news and talk station won't be swayed by headwinds of left-wing media. We'll always give you the facts from the most trusted voices in the country. Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Well, with this cold weather snap coming and all that wind, holy cow, how are your windows holding up? Seriously, if you've had a leak, I'll bet you really have a leak now, and you can tell if it's just not doing the right thing for your home. Well, guess what? You know, I love putting my name on people I know and family businesses that I've been working with. They're off and on, whatever, for so many years, like 25, including my buddy Jeff from Peach State Windows. Now, these guys, this is a family business. His wife's probably going to answer the phone. They've been serving Georgia homeowners for decades and decades. He knows all about this goofy weather, and it's going to get hot again. He knows about our building codes and what actually holds up in Georgia homes. Also, because it's a local business right here, not one of those national firms that hires, I don't know, stringers or something, Jeff has got a way to offer you a savings that those big guys can't beat. How about this? 8 a special deal, 8 premium Energy Star double hung replacement windows fully installed for $39.95. That's 8 windows for under $4,000 installed. You won't find that kind of value from those big national companies. Another bonus, how about this? 0% financing for 12 months. 770-485-8011. Making the uglies go away. PeachStateWindows.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Exmark. Spring is knocking, and that lawn isn't going to cut itself. Get ready to mow smarter with Exmark mowers from Howard Brothers. With Exmark, you get durability, precision, and performance you can count on season after season. And at Howard Brothers, they've got the expert advice, trusted service, and equipment that works as hard as you do. Stop by Howard Brothers today or visit howardbrothers.com and power your spring with an Exmark mower.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We are a family-owned, operated, independent local company. We have over 15 years of artificial grass design, installation, and sales experience. From premium artificial lawns and backyards, custom putting greens, sports fields, hardscape, drainage. We do both residential and commercial. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
You and your buddy. You've been through a lot with each other. The ups and the downs. He's been with you every morning, noon, and night. You've traveled the world together. Heck, he was even with you on your first big date. But have you noticed he's struggling lately? Not performing on the job. He can't even stand up straight anymore. He's wanting to cry out for help, but just doesn't know how. He needs Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can give him the gift of good posture this year, help him stand proud and become all he was meant to be. Now, take him by the hand, look him in the eye and say, I appreciate you, little fella, and we're going to get you some help. We're going to call 404-777-1911. We're going to visit stopmyed.com. We are going to say goodbye to erectile dysfunction forever. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. It's a hard conversation to have, but it's one worth having. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Online at stopmyed.com.
Is your entire home winter ready? Every entry point? Cold air is invading your home through your windows, entry doors, and your biggest entry point, your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Keep that cold air out of your home and save on your heating bills with energy-efficient windows, entry doors, and garage doors from All Four Seasons. We're proud to be celebrating a quarter century of quality work and customer care. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Shop in the new 2026 Toyota Tacoma. We'll make sure your move is the one at Marietta Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event now through March 31st. At Marietta Toyota, every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's unlimited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. And if you currently own a Tacoma, Tundra, 4Runner, or Sequoia, you may qualify for $1,000 in loyalty cash towards that new Tacoma, no trade-in required. We've got Tacomas in stock and more arriving. You can choose right now to set up and drive it home. Special APR is available, 4.99% APR, for 72 months for well-qualified buyers. Remember, visit us on Kyle Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota, since 1975, we've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 72 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. $1,000 loyalty cash available to eligible current owners on selecting Tacoma. No trade-in required. Offer ends 3/31/26. See dealer for details.
All right, check this out now. That's a surf guitar, baby. I'm talking to a girl right now. I'm sorry. That's why I was trying to pretend I'm talking to a girl. 2019, American rock guitarist Dick Dale passed away of heart failure. He was only 81. God, so young. He was known as the king of the surf guitar. Dick Dale pioneered and created what many call the surf music style. Dick Dale worked with Fender to produce custom-made amplifiers, including the first ever 100-watt guitar amplifier. His song Mr. Lou featured over the opening credits to Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. Dick Dale, surf guitar. Trendsetter. Started a lot of things. Our birthday, it's Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? 404-741-1230. Our birthday list in 1991. Eddie Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli. I think we all had a crush on that chubby little brunette sweetie. Eddie Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli had a baby boy in Los Angeles. They called him Wolfgang, after Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and Wolfgang Van Halen is 35 years old today. So happy birthday to you. By the way, over the weekend, overnight, it was the Ides of March. Julius Caesar assassinated the Ides of March by a group of conspirators led by Marcus Brutus. A fortune teller had warned Caesar, beware the Ides of March, and it was immortalized in Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. Quickly, the word Ides from Latin means to divide, although I'll bet you the correct pronunciation is probably Ides. Being something of a Latin scholar, from my prep school days, I once translated Winnie the Pooh into Winnie the Pooh into Latin. Anyway, and a little history thing here. It's Pete Davis's birthday, the other major birthday list here for today, by the way, which we'll keep mentioning. On this day, The movie China Syndrome, about a nuclear plant disaster, is released in 1979. Fictional story, TV reporters uncovering safety violations filmed the nuclear accident at a power plant. I remember when the guy from the streets of San Francisco, married to the brunette girl, Michael Douglas, was the cameraman, and he kept filming when he said he wasn't. Let's see, the industry derided the film in 1979, saying it was absurd, nothing like that could ever happen. 12 days later, 3 Mile Island nuclear reactor had a meltdown. Result 12 days later from the movie, release of radioactive gases and radioactive iodine into the air. The 3 Mile Island accident was due largely to operator error, inadequate training, and design flaws, pretty much like the movie, ironically. And Jane Fonda was... By the way, did I hear Jane Fonda saying that she slept with everybody who ever worked at CNN? Was that the soundbite? Something like that. She was talking... Clay and Bill had it on just right before us. Buck and Charlie... And they had a quote. I swear to God, I heard Jane Fonda, and they were talking about she's all upset about the CNN deal with West Star or some, I don't know, so Warner Brothers or whatever's going on. And I think they had a quote as saying that, well, she should know about CNN because she slept with everybody who ever worked at CNN. Was that, did I hear that right? I might have misheard it. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, probably. And freaking, the freaking commie trader with the morals of a freaking alley cat. The picture of her sitting in an anti-aircraft gun in North Vietnam. Thank you. Some of us are a little raw about that still. Anyway, 323, Timber, Pete, and Flounder. Yada-da-da. Okay, here we go. I did last night. I'm doing stuff, and I picked up my phone and saw my Facebook page, and Neil Bortz had posted something about any of other people watching this ridiculous blankety blank called the Oscar ceremony, and I forgot it was. I forgot it was on, or did it just totally slipped my mind, and so I made the mistake of looking. I turned it on to see Conan O'Brien looking like some kind of a circus clown. By the way, he looked like a claymation figure. It's just really like he was made to look like something really weird. Anyway, Conan O'Brien, who I've always, thought was pretty funny, and he comes out and he does a bit where he says, and it's a wonderful live television. And speaking of live television today, we live now to London, England, and here in London, England is our broadcast announcer, Bill Furchenfamp. And Bill says, hello, yes, it's wonderful to be here. And Conan says, well, gee, are you looking forward to seeing any special stars tonight, Ferguson? And Ferguson says, oh, yes, I am. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the Kardashians and Basil Rathbone. And Conan O'Brien said, Basil Rathbone's been dead for almost 60 years. And the British guy says in London says, oh, yes, well, really, well, that's the issue we have with live television. And Conan says, yeah, so thank you so much for being here. Here's our friend from London, England, the announcer for the show. That was a bit. Just like I did it, I swear to God, just as cringeworthy as what you just heard me do is what Conan O'Brien did. And I said, what was that, 40 seconds? And I said, oh my God, and I went back to working on history list for today.
It used to be a thing. You get some ice cream, you sit there, you enjoy, you watch the movies that you had seen during the year, and trying to pick who was going to win. And last night, I didn't know it was on until like 2 or 3 hours before. And it was like, do you want to watch that? No, I don't want. No, we don't watch that.
And, and the other thing, I know it's silly, but the family would gather around and you would see the movie stars and you see what they were wearing, and there was all little it was just a thing. It was a nice family, wholesome, celebrating the movies and just entertainment. And then all of a sudden now they're making jokes about who's that Indian-looking guy, that funny actor who made a joke about Schindler's List is now Schindler's Post-it note because the things are going too long. I mean, it's just, what the hell? I don't know. I read about it, but I didn't. Anyway.
And the best movie goes to a movie nobody wanted to see, nobody saw. And and basically, they love their little dystopian Antifa-loving little movies.
Yeah. I've seen ads for this one battle after another. I've seen the ad for the Sinners. I've not.
Sinners looks interesting, but the other one's just pro Antifa, basically.
It's just. And by the way, Flounder printed up a story here for us here, among other things. By the way, Flounder, did you watch any of it? And Veronica,
no,
as Oscars. Now, was that by choice, or you just didn't know it was on?
We didn't watch. We were watching White Lotus season 3.
Oh God! Oh man! I tried to watch season 1. I watched 2 or 3 of them, and I just couldn't.
It's weird, but we've gotten kind of into it. This is the last one, so yeah.
Well, maybe I should have given it another. I don't know. I couldn't for some reason. Something creeped me out. Anyway, have you? One thing, even the news people are noticing: the new Ozempic Hollywood starlets. They are looking like cadavers.
Yeah.
I mean, have you noticed this? You've seen pictures of really, it looks very unhealthy. They're like sinewy, sunken cheeks, and no flesh on their jaws.
Kelly Osbourne.
God, and her mother, the mother Osbourne too. It looks freaking...
Well, all they're doing is taking a shot. They're not doing any exercising or any muscle building or anything like that, so everything just kind of drops, right?
I guess. It can't be good for you. What do I. But, I mean... and by the way, the New York Post took some pictures of the Dolby, theater, the name of the theater, after they all left, covered with trash. Nothing but, there's paper, there's plastic everywhere. These are the people, save the whales, save the ocean, get rid of plastic, and there's nothing but plastic and, just garbage everywhere. Everywhere. It's worse than any movie theater you've ever seen. Hollywood stars. Clean up on aisle all. Some of the freaking reactions. And by the way, one more thing before we forget. In fact, Flounder, Flounder printed up some of the rules that they had for the Oscars in order to actually be possibly awarded a prize from the Oscars. For example, the issue of diversity, in case you didn't know it, at least for leading or supporting actor significant roles. At least one of the actors has to be from an underrepresented group. Here's a list of them: Black, East Asian, Chinese, Japanese, Hispanic, Indigenous Native American, Alaskan Native, North African, Pacific Islander, South Asian, Bangladesh, Bhutanese, Burmese, Cambodian, Laotian, Thai, and Vietnamese, among others. And you better, by God, have somebody that fits one of those categories. If you want to have the general cast, 30% have to be from at least 2 of the following groups: chicks, black guys, non-white guys, non-straight guys and women, people who can't hear.
What?
Yeah. I can't even read. This is freaking hysterical.
All right, so that means Driving Miss Daisy wouldn't have won, Dances of Wolves wouldn't have won, Silence of Lambs wouldn't have won, The Unforgiven wouldn't have won, The Godfather wouldn't have won. The majority of movies that won Best Picture would not be there today.
They're killing themselves in their whole industry.
Oh my God.
Let them do it.
And it's just a shame, especially now. And I know this is just, again, I don't even count in my demographics anymore, but it's just a shame given what the hell's going on in the world these days and the politics and the hateful Democrats. By the way, the latest NBC poll just showed that something like 60% of American Democrats are now Jew haters. 60% of American Democrats have a negative opinion of Israel and Jews. With all the hate going on with it, the left is a party of violence anyway, as we know. It's just a shame that there isn't, a couple hours where the family would actually enjoy sitting around and talking with each other instead of hiding in their freaking phones and watching a little thing that would bring all you think about all the warm feelings and stuff, great stories and the pretty costumes and what it must be like to be a Hollywood star,
They don't seem to realize that you can go on your home computer and have AI make you a better movie than what they're putting out right now for millions and millions of dollars. Right. You can do it for free at your home.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's just, it's a shame. It's just, I hate where we're going.
They
and where
think
we
they're
are.
not replaceable, and they are.
Yeah, try this.
They're about to find out how replaceable they are.
Well, good grief. Kimmer Peen Flounder, how you doing? 331-404-741-1230. Love to have you join us if you feel like it. How's your weather? Everything all right? Loose power? All right, look out. Here we go.
Get the latest breaking news and insight from the biggest conservative voices in the South when you follow Extra 106.3 across all your social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at Extra 106.3.
Well, I got more stuff to save for my kids to find if they need to, and that's why you should get yourself a Safe from Atlanta Safe House. In Alpharetta now they have a new location, Union Hill Road in Alpharetta. And Mark is telling me they got 500 of them right there ready to go. The new location means there'll be sales and rebates and specials all the time. And again, I've just had a new medical record episode. Also, I just figured out my taxes, and so that's the kind of stuff you want to save for financial records for your family and whoever. And not only that, I do my taxes. Also, I have a situation where I lost my wallet. If I hadn't found it, I would be able to go to find all my credit card numbers and my license number and all that stuff. The paperwork you need to save. Safes are not just for guns and bows and arrows and stuff like that. Jewelry and cash and things you want to save. Photographs and the stuff, documents that are important to you. They've got about 500 of them ready to go right there on Union Hill Road. More Browning safes and Fort Knox safes than anybody in this whole part of the country. Tell them the Kimmer sent you, making deals and protecting your rights as well as they protect your stuff too. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
Retirement should feel exciting, not stressful. But if you're close to retirement or already there, have you ever stopped to ask, do I really understand the risks to my plan? Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Things like market swings, higher taxes, inflation, healthcare costs, even living longer than expected can slowly chip away at your savings if you're not prepared. And even solid plans can have blind spots. That's why we offer a retirement risk analysis. It looks at how your investments, income, and taxes could hold up in real-life situations, not just on paper. It helps answer the big questions. What happens if the market drops? And will your money last as long as you do? If you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, give us a call, 678-990-8500, or visit nicholaswealth.com to schedule a complimentary retirement risk analysis. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you retire with clarity, confidence, and control.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
It's the hardest working part of your home, your garage door. When it fails, you need someone you can trust. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. When the largest and most important opening of your home breaks, don't hire a schmo. Call the local name you know, All Four Seasons. Ask your neighbors. We offer upfront pricing, free estimates on all major brands, and 24/7 service. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
At the Honest Car Guy, the entire process is completely transparent. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee, and we even prove it by giving you a copy of the bill of sale. We can sell you any make, any year, any model, and at the Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1 or honestcarguy.com.
Did your security provider sell your account to another company? Or are you unhappy with your current security service? I'm Matt Harvey with Alert 360 Security. We protect the homes and businesses of over 12,000 of your friends and neighbors right here in Metro Atlanta. Our award-winning customer service and 5-Diamond certified monitoring start at just $15.95 a month. Switching to Alert 360 is easy. Visit alert360.com to learn more. Sign up in March and get a free electronic door lock. Protect what matters most with Alert 360.
For the latest on the situation in Iran, you need more than just the headlines. You need the stories that matter from the voices you trust the most.
They keep saying death to America. They're building rockets. They're building missiles and trying to, enrich uranium. What are we waiting for?
Count on Atlanta's only conservative voice to give it to you straight without the mainstream media spin.
You've had 40,000 protesters that have been rounded up and murdered by this government. How many is too much before you recognize that this thing is evil, it's been evil, and it's been at war with you since the 1970s?
Extra 106.3 FM and stream us anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Beat you to it. That's the Kimmer.
I think you guys are in the same key.
With James Cotton. You believe in that? 2017, American blues harmonica player, singer, and songwriter James Cotton passed away from pneumonia. He was only 81, so young. Cotton worked in Howlin' Wolf's band in the early 1950s. In 1955, he was recruited by Muddy Waters to move to Chicago and join his band. Mr. Cotton was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. James Cotton was dead from pneumonia at age 81 in 2017. Kimmer Peyton Flounder birthday list includes one of the freakiest characters on 30 Rock. I used to love that series, boy. Judah Friedlander. He played that hairy goofball, I forget his name now, on 30 Rock, one of the writers. He's 57 years old. Judah Friedlander, by the way, is the highest top-ranked black belt there is in the discipline of karate. He's the highest rank there is. That goofy-looking Judith Friedlander from 30 Rock, bearded glasses guy. Let's see. Here we go. Hold on a second. On this day in history, 1802, the United States Military Academy, known as West Point, is established by the U.S. Congress. It opened July 4th, the oldest of the 5 American service academies. It was originally established, this is 1802 now, it was originally established as a fort since it sits on strategic high ground overlooking the Hudson River with a scenic view 50 miles north of New York City. It was built on the site of Fort Clinton on West Point, which former Revolutionary War hero General Benedict Arnold conspired to turn over to the British during the American Revolutionary War. And if he had been able to do it, there might have been a whole different outcome of the Revolutionary War. Anyway, but he didn't do it.
He almost turns Washington over, too, because Washington was going to be right there.
Yeah, and a lot of it was because that wife of his, she was she needed money, man. She went through money like crazy, and then he didn't get the commission he wanted from Congress, so he got ticked off, and they said, well, I'll get back at them, and boom. And by the way, he ended up going back to London and dying in poverty and kind of tarnished as a traitor. I mean, even they said,
they didn't like him either.
Yeah, I said, you're kind of a turncoat, really, when you look at it. You're kind of a skank, kind of like that Jane Fonda chick, They heard about her later, too. Anyway, Kimmer Peyton Flounder, how you doing? 340 404 741 1230. 741-1230. By the way, I'm ticked off. I mentioned last week I was very excited because I found a new drink. I bring it in my drive. I bring a cooler case in here for my afternoon beverage during the program. It wet my whistle, and I found Hawaiian Punch. I haven't bought Hawaiian Punch. I'll bet you in 50 years. I mean, it really has been forever, and so I got some, and I was excited about doing it. And then I realized today or over the weekend when I got some just to drink for kicks. They made it. It said they changed the formula. It's nowhere near as sweet and cherry-ish as it used to be, just like everything else. I mean, it's amazing. The older I get, the more I realize things. Now, wait a minute. Now, it might be. I assume your taste buds do. I'm not sure if they change that much when you get older. They change a little bit. I know as you're growing, but now maybe I can blame my own taste. I don't know, but it just seems here we go again. Things are changing, and I don't like it. There you go. All right, some sad news from the White House today. Oh, again, Donald Trump once again live. He goes live at the White House for hours, and he takes questions and opens up the thing. He blasted some ABC reporter again last night and stuff like that. But again today, he just goes live. He goes live. I mean, no country in the world has ever seen a president or a king or prime minister or whatever do this. It's pretty much every day. He opens up the government. I mean, it's astounding. If you're young, believe me, I hope you don't get spoiled with this because this has never happened before. And compared to the last guy, holy cow. Anyway, a little unfortunate news today that Donald Trump has announced that his wonderful White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, has early diagnosed breast cancer. And he said, Susie Wiles is an incredible chief of staff, great person, one of the strongest people I know. She's been diagnosed with early stage breast cancer and has decided to take on the challenge immediately as opposed to waiting. She has a fantastic medical team. Prognosis is excellent, and she will continue. He says, quote, during the treatment period, she will be spending virtually full time at the White House, which makes me as president very happy. I kind of, okay. But, I'd be more, I don't know.
There's a lot of stress with her job.
Well, stress and cancer are not, don't go together. But again, I had cancer, so I guess I can talk a little bit about it. But,
you did?
Yeah. But how come I lived? I know. Thank you very much. And I had a heart attack, too. How about that? I had cancer 20. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. I had cancer 23 years ago and a heart attack 13 years ago. Anyway.
Gee, what's the encore? What's it
every 10 years, 23 and then 30. Something bad's going to happen if I make it to 84, I guess, or something. Anyway, so I guess I shouldn't joke with that. No, why not joke? Frankly, my attitude was, in fact, I remember coming out and talking about it on the radio when I was diagnosed. I went in and said, oh, by the way, I have cancer. And I treated it like my life is this, and here's what I'm doing. And I just, I refused to succumb to anything. And if it got me, it got me. And by the way, if one little teeny cell is still in there somewhere and it comes back, it's over. There's nothing they can do. I mean, so, it's just the way it goes. So, hell. I dodged them many a time. Trust me, I'm way over what should have been my expiration date. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, on the latest on the war. I love the fact that Donald Trump started laughing when he found out that the Supreme Leader, baby Ayatollah Khamenei, is actually I heard a guy on the show before say the Gayatollah. the new younger guy, the son of the daddy who got killed, is the Gayatollah. Gayatollah Khamenei.
There's a famous audio of him at the White House or somewhere, and he goes, "Where are my gays for Trump?" He goes, "You're gay?" He goes, "You're not gay." He really said that. You're not gay. I'll find it and send it to you guys.
Oh, my God. Well, they're saying he's gay. He flirts with all the guys whenever he had a sexual relationship with his longtime childhood tutor. And by the way, in Iran, this is not a good thing to be. Again, there's nothing wrong with that in America. Everything's fine. We've all have gay people. We've known for years. Everybody's fine with the thing. You want to marry a guy, marry a guy. Welcome to the nightmare that's holy matrimony. But in Iran, that's not really a good thing. In fact, in Iran, if you're gay and they find out, they want you to get your snarkalukas chopped off so you can pretend to be a girl and they'll let you live. If you're willing to chop everything off and change your genders, they will let you live, or you'll die. Either you can get the choice because it's illegal and they will stone the crap out of you. By the way, he's also impotent, so I don't know how that works. I guess he likes kissing. Anyway, he makes sexual aggressive overtures to men, caring for him. He got, I think he had his legs blown off or something. Yeah. Anyway, sodomy also is a criminal offense in Iran. and they'll hang you from a construction crane if they catch you. So that's not a good sign there.
And you want to be my latex salesman.
I mean, can you imagine the Ayatollah's son is freaking gay in Iran. I mean, I think God did that. I think God said, you know what? You're gay. I'm going to make that guy gay.
Don't you think that's a CIA psyop to spread that around Iran that he's gay?
I'm sure.
Gay?
I'm sure it is.
Get some of the wokesters to move to Iran.
Yeah. I'm sure it is, you know. I mean, who knows? Either way, it's still funny. In Iran, 346. Give repeat and flounder. How you doing? It's Monday, and sun's out. That's a good sign.
Extra 106.3 is getting ready for the 2026 midterms. And on the ballot, it's freedom versus communism. The choice is clear, and your vote matters more than ever. The future of our community and our country hangs in the balance, and the conservative voice of Atlanta will continue to fight the good fight right up to the election. Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we're bringing you the biggest diamond engagement and wedding event of the year. Our spring bridal event is back. For one weekend only, take advantage of exclusive savings, extensive designer lines, and an incredible event-only diamond selection. Plus, get event-only savings of up to $3,000 or 0% APR financing for 3 years at D. Geller & Son's spring bridal event. It's this weekend, Friday through Sunday, in both showrooms, Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. Save even more when you RSVP online at dgeller.com.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru. Now through March 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Gwinnett. Explore the full lineup of hybrid, electric, gas, and wilderness vehicles, including the 2026 Subaru Forester and the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. Every Subaru is made with love and built to last, with dependability and value coming standard. Whether you're looking to match your adventurous spirit with the 2026 Subaru Outback or land on the reliability of the 2026 Subaru Forester, Subaru of Gwinnett has the perfect fit for your family. You'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. And the 2026 Subaru Legacy is what happens when we put the best of Subaru into a sedan. Plus, every Subaru model comes equipped with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. There's a lot to discover and a lot to love at Subaru of Gwinnett. Come in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Here today with Evan Ward from Atlas Retirement. And Evan, I know you've been quite busy in the office these days. So let's talk about some of the things folks are calling you most about here lately.
Well, Kevin, the biggest thing people are really talking about right now is retirement. And I look at retirement as a journey, not a destination. The goal of almost everybody out there is to grow and preserve a tax-efficient portfolio so they can actually enjoy their retirement. And that's why I partnered with Market Guard. I get a lot of the same questions. Evan, when do I sell? When do I hold? And if I sold, when do I get back into the market? In my opinion, that's market timing. And in my experience, market timing, it can be quite confusing. And we have to look at it and allow the math to do the work.
Everybody has a different appetite for risk. So where does Market Guard fit in?
Well, if you want asset preservation and you don't want it to go down due to market volatility, we have portfolios that are designed for this. But if you want to participate in those larger markets, Market Guard can also offer more stock and aggressive portfolios for those that are looking for that kind of strategy. And here's what I propose for our listeners today. For the next 10 callers, we're going to do a Market Guard portfolio comparison, side by side with what you're currently doing, and we'll show you how your 401k and other investments are doing. And we'll make recommendations, and then you can see the difference between Market Guard and what it can do for your portfolio. After that, you decide if you want us to do a complete retirement plan. So give us a call today at 678-736-7799 and ask for your complimentary Market Guard portfolio comparison.
Again, call Evan Ward with Atlas Retirement. That number, folks, 678-736-7799. And you can pick up your complimentary Market Guard portfolio comparison. That's 678-736-7799. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
The Georgia Swarm are celebrating the best sports fans in the South. Join us for Fan Appreciation Night on Friday, March 20th at Gas South Arena in Duluth. Be there for giveaways and a post-game autograph session on the field. It's all presented by Coastal States Bank. Swarm fans, you guys make the Hive buzz, and we want to thank you so much. Get your professional lacrosse tickets today at georgiaswarm.com for Friday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m. Gas South Arena. That's georgiaswarm.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
Led Zeppelin 2010 discovered a rare recording. It was a recording from 1971, a gig they did at St. Matthew's Baths Hall in Ipswich, England. Led Zeppelin, rare recording, unearthed at a car sale. The bootleg copy of the audio from the group's gig in November of 1971 was picked up for about $8 by a music fan named Vic Kemp, who said, I was going through a stand of CDs at the car boot. What's a car? That's a trunk, right? Or is that what's a car boot? Is a trunk, isn't it? And he was going through a stand of them at this place. The guy who was selling them said, you might be interested in this. It must have been recorded by someone standing at the front with a microphone. You can hear singer Robert Plant talking to the audience quite clearly. So, and it was bootlegged. And he bought it for $8. Led Zeppelin 40 years earlier. Anyway, Kimmer Pete and the Flounder to the phones, taking priority. It's Lee. Lee, you're on the radio, man. How you doing? Happy Monday. What's going on, sir?
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Kimmer. I've been a long-time listener.
Thank you.
Listened to you way back when I first got to Atlanta.
Excellent. Thank
you were saying something. This happened when, I guess, Cher's husband died, and you said something about the Kimmer, I'm going to miss the Kimmer, or something like that. And I just watched you ever since. I've just listened to you ever since.
Sounds about right. Well, thank you. Welcome aboard.
But the reason I've called is I'm a brother.
Yeah.
And this is to you for a while. I'm a brother.
I'm number one with the brothers.
United States.
Yeah. Huge with the brothers.
Yeah, there you go. What it is.
Huge.
What it is.
Keeping it crunk.
Keeping it crunk, baby. And what it is that I just want to go on the record, and
yes.
I'm a Navy vet also.
Yes.
I want to go on the record.
Semper Fi, yes, sir.
To say that the black culture is not about dancing and shaking your booty like they were talking about last week for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, Magic City.
That is not black culture, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm willing to go toe-to-toe and debate anybody that would insult black culture by saying that shaking your rump on the stage while having a bunch of guys throwing dollars at you, that's not black culture. No. I just want to officially get online to say that.
Yeah, I actually, you couldn't be more right. I mean, it's ridiculous, and the fact that they even did it. What bothered me was that. There's a couple ways to look at it. That you appreciate that people are able to do what they want in America and so on and so forth, but it's just not the way to represent. If they're trying to represent the achievements in business and black culture and stuff like that, that just wasn't the way to do it. It just seemed offensive. It doesn't do the job. And again, it must have been a money. But again, I don't know why they would do it because they couldn't have needed the money.
Well, is it league? Would you think? Is it Atlanta black culture?
Oh gosh, no. Heck no.
Yeah.
No, it's not black culture. Period. It is not black culture. Period. Okay. In fact, I took offense to it. I said that's crazy.
We all did. We did. We said no, that's not. That's not the way you represent the black people in Atlanta.
Exactly. I mean, when I grew up. But that is not the way I was raised about black culture. And it is not, like I said, watching naked women throwing dollars at naked women, and especially in a family environment. That's unsatisfactory.
Well, that's the other. Yeah, there's supposed to still be, children involved here. So it was just wrong-headed. And I don't know how they got. I don't know who somebody talked them into it, thinking it was a great idea to show support, and I don't know how that. I don't know where they got there. I don't know how they got that.
I don't know, but they need to be fired. I tell you that they need to be fired.
Lee, I'm very glad you called. Please call more often, and thanks for listening, and especially the long timers. I can't believe you're sticking around all these years. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. 356. Give Pete and Flounder. Our birthday list includes, that's a nice call. And again, we appreciate your opinions on this thing. It's important to us.
It's funny, Kimmer.
Yeah.
I was something I follow on Twitter, and someone was doing a food tasting of the best wings in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you know what the number one voted was?
What?
Magic City.
Really? Best wings?
Apparently they have very good chicken wings.
But how many... how many of the population to go to the Magic City
to get buffalo wings?
That sounds like it might be a little bit.
No, I have it on my phone on Instagram. I'll send it to you and Pete.
Damned. I wonder who they polled for the survey. Guys who were strip club guys, or that's amazing.
I'll find it and send it to you.
Okay, cool. And again, that's like I just read the NBC survey a little while ago that liberal Democrats in America now are 60% against the Jewish culture and Israel. And what's going on now? 60% Democrats have a negative feeling about Israel and the Iran business.
So they'd rather be behind the Palestinians who have zero to do with anything civilized.
Yeah. Flounder's funny right here. What do you get a little something?
So in our neighborhood, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is very exciting because I grew up on a straight street, and I always dreamed of living in a cul-de-sac. You see them and you're like, can you imagine being up in one of those? We do all the cul-de-sac stuff, like if anybody comes down there, we're like, what are you doing down? Just any car, we're like, you better get out of our cul-de-sac.
Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze. By the way, I didn't give you my history little thing today. Hold on a second. Now, Mr. Phone just called bonged on me here. I had it right here, too. Hold on a second. Darn it. No, oops-a-daisy. Now, Flounder just sent me something and messed up my phone. Let's do this one. In 1995, you'll be glad to know that Mississippi ratifies the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution 130 years late, abolishing slavery. Mississippi abolished slavery in 1995. The U.S. archivist didn't know it, and so the ratification wasn't actually official until 2013. When Mississippi ratified the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, needed to pass in 1865. The remaining states, except Mississippi, didn't do it until 1995. So there you go. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230 if you'd like to join us. We got Pete's Tweets, we got Flounder's Funnies, we have Holy Crap at Sports, and the sun's out. And we got away by the horrible wind stuff and that freezing cold, and it's snowing in North Georgia. Coming up at 4 o'clock, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. How's your Monday going?
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Dozens of flights disrupted for another day. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, as a blizzard continues in parts of the Midwest.
Welcome to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan as blowing snow and 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts are occurring, and we could see up to 75 mile an hour hurricane force winds. This has been going on for over 24 hours.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray along Lake Superior in Marquette, Michigan. The region could have 4 feet of snow by tomorrow, while the southeast and mid-Atlantic face a risk of severe thunderstorms and possible tornadoes. Officials urging people to take it seriously.
Here in Washington, federal workers have the option to telework or take unscheduled leave today. D.C. public schools are closing 2 hours early. Up in neighboring Maryland, Governor Wes Moore has declared a state of preparedness.
Fox's Rich Edson. Nationwide today alone, more than 12,000 flights delayed or canceled. And there are long lines at some airports with staffing issues growing as TSA agents work without pay in a partial government shutdown targeting Homeland Security funding. Democrats in Congress still pushing for immigration enforcement reforms. Missouri Republican Senator Eric Schmidt tells Fox.
Well, they're trying to appease their radical base. I mean, the party, I don't know any other way to say it, they've become radicalized. And, it was defund the police a few years ago. Now it's defund ICE.
Democrats say Republicans could end the shutdown by agreeing to fund other DHS agencies while talks on ICE and border protection continue. President Trump says Iran wants to make a deal, but maybe not yet.
They're taking a pounding. I don't know if they're ready yet. And we don't even know their leaders. Look, all of their leaders are dead.
Though also acknowledging uncertainty about the status of the new supreme leader, he's also strongly encouraging allies and partners to help oil tankers get through the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. crude prices dipping under $94 a barrel. And the Dow finishing up 387 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. So loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
Yeah, okay. I love ABBA. I have several ABBA songs on my Magic Music stick. I think Flounder may have put some of those on there. My daughter Jennifer did a couple of those earlier too, but ABBA, here we go, 2010. You can dance. Hey, da, 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 da. Having the time of your life. ABBA 2010 inducted into the U.S. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Dancing Queen. They were inducted along with Genesis and the Hollies in 2010 on this day. ABBA's Benny Andersson and Anna Friedling and Staten Hurtenferfen, I might have added a thing here, accepted their trophies in New York. And as I recall, ABBA, this was 2010, they got the Grammy. At one point in their career, after they really had stopped touring, they were offered $1 billion to go on tour, and they said, no thanks. $1 billion. I mean, that's astounding. Anyway, Kimber Pete Flounder, how's it going? 404. Our birthday list includes Kate Nelligan. Kate Nelligan is 76. You'd remember her if you saw the movie Eye of the Needle. Kate Nelligan played the wife of the crippled combat soldier guy on the island where they were looking for bad guys, and the Eye of the Needle, with a great book and a great movie. And she had an affair. Her husband was off doing something in his wheelchair, and she had an affair with the spy who was at the island. Anyway, Kate Nelligan, 76. She was also in Fatal Instinct and Prince of Time. Was Fatal Instinct? That was that comedy, wasn't that weird comedy? Fatal Instinct with the serious actor, and it was a takeoff on Basic Instinct. I should have looked that up. Anyway. Anyway, Caden Elligan, 76. And on this day in history, 1958, he was accused of using his father's money and influence to buy the election. John F. Kennedy reads a telegram he said he received from his dad. Dear Jack, don't buy a single vote more than is necessary. I'll be damned if I'm going to pay for a landslide. Well, it was during a speech to the Gridiron Club in Washington, D.C., which is, of course, is the spoofy media dinner thing they have. John Kennedy be reelected to the U.S. Senate with a 73% of the vote, the largest winning margin in the history of Massachusetts politics. Anyway, Kennedy family. 406, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230, 741-1230. A quick update on the Democrats now are calling to fund DHS after blocking it 4 times. They want to end the shutdown, but they keep blocking the GOP attempts to open it because they want to defund the police. The Senate Democrats have voted to block it. They're calling now for an end to the shutdown. In fact, there have been some Democrats in states where they're having problems saying, listen, we need to, we need to open up the DHS. And the Democrats keep voting no. Chuck Schumer is accusing Republicans, of course. Anyway, I mean, the whole thing's a freaking mess. Total freaking skanky lie. And I'll tell you what else is a mess, too. Have you heard about the fact that apparently the Iranian women's soccer team has now, if not all, most of them have said, well, forget it. We forget the asylum. We're going to go home so they don't kill us.
Well, do you think they're going to be killed anyway because they tried to defect?
I do. I think I think they're going to kill them and their families, so no one will know about it. I believe that. The women, we know the story. They were offered asylum in Australia, and then they got word that their families have been kidnapped, apparently. And now one former soccer player woman says the players chose to go home and stay there as opposed to getting amnesty after intense and systemic pressure on the players' families from the Iranian Football Federation because the threats against their families became unbearable and intimidation was relentless. The women were branded traitors in Iran. Their safety put into question. Donald Trump says they'll probably be killed if they go home after trying to get asylum. One expert said, I know families have been detained. Family members are missing. We're worried about them and for the women, for the Iranian soccer team when they go home. We know for a fact they will not be safe, facing severe consequences returning home. And they've done it before. They killed a champion wrestler who was convicted of harming an Iranian security guard during a protest in 2018. They executed him. They hanged him. A champion wrestler for the Iranians. And by the way, where are you Democrat women? Yeah. Where's Jane Fonda now?
Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah. Where's the squad?
No.
I mean, seriously, where's anybody? Have you heard any female standing up and demanding the rights of women around the world? If you demand the right for a woman, if a boy to become a woman, how about demanding some rights for women who are actually women?
Yeah, they'll protest a fictional Handmaid's Tales movie, but they won't say squat about the real Handmaid's Tale going on in Iran.
Yeah,
I've heard some concern, like Riley Gaines and people like that say things, but no one from the left is saying anything.
Yeah, but not one Democrat, not one leading Democrat or one Hollywood celebrity. I mean anybody.
They love despots. They love dictators.
And that guy, what's his name? Javier Bar. He's an actor last night who said free Palestine.
Yeah.
No wars and free Palestine.
Javier Bardem, or what was it? Javier Bardem. Yeah, very fair. The guy from No Country for Old Men. Wasn't that the guy?
Yes.
Yeah. He's last thing's free Palestine.
Bond movie.
At the
Free
Oscars.
Palestine.
Yeah, Free Palestine.
He owes his entire career to the Jewish movie community, but he's yelling for a bunch of people who have done zero squat for the human race.
And by the way, isn't Javier Bardem, is that not Spanish? Or what,
yes, he's Spanish.
So what's he got? What's his problem? Why is he such a Jew hater? What would a Spanish guy have in common?
Spain has a long history of killing Jews. It's called the Inquisition.
God, wasn't that like more than 40 years ago or so, wasn't it? I mean, it was kind of a long ago. Hey, it was a little while ago. God, are they still hanging on to that in Spain?
It's cool now to be an anti-Semite in Hollywood.
I mean, good grief. But I mean, seriously, where are the women protesters? I mean, seriously. I'm sorry, Flounder, were you waving at me?
Yeah, Trump's going live.
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Donald Trump, live again.
Numbers you're talking about. The theft
A fraud task force.
And I think JD will make, and Andrew will make a charge later on that local states should handle nursing homes and all of these things, that the federal government shouldn't be involved in. It's too big. The federal government should handle military and a couple of other things. But when it comes to nursing homes, you saw where a young gentleman was going around and knocking on doors, and none of the nursing homes existed, none of the nurseries existed. The money that's being paid out, and the federal government pays for it. When you see all these people coming in illegally into our country, many criminals, many drug dealers, murders, 11,888 murders, and you look at California, and more come in, and yet they never had money, and yet they pay them. You know why they pay them? Because the federal government is charged with paying. We're not paying them anymore, and I said that.
He's announcing a task force. J.D. Vance heads it. Anti-fraud.
I think it's going to, hopefully it's going to be JD.
First two targets,
like
California and New York.
Where she was put in charge of the border, and she never went there, JD, right? You promise?
I promise, sir.
Remember, Kamala was put in charge. She was the border czar. She never went to the border. She never called any of the great Border Patrol. The Border Patrol testified. We never spoke to her in 4 years, and that was a disaster. But this is different. This is a different group of people. I think maybe before JD, I'll ask Stephen Miller to say a few words too, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, under President Trump's leadership, as we've seen, the illegal flow across the southern border was stopped completely. But what we found since President Trump came into office is that the Democrats have set up a system to funnel hundreds of billions and ultimately trillions of dollars to migrants that are in our country, oftentimes from places like Somalia. So as an example, ICE recently asked a group of illegal immigrants that were in detention whether or not they were receiving Medicaid. Half of them raised their hands and volunteered that they were on Medicaid. Just volunteered that. These aren't the ones who are hiding it, right? They also asked illegal aliens how they paid their medical bills, and they said that if they don't have Medicaid, they go to hospitals, they get free care there, and they bill it to the taxpayers. So they aren't paying for any of their own health care in this country. This is one example. And we've seen this over and over and over again. So under President Trump's leadership, and then of course with JD and the head of the FTC, Andrew Ferguson, we're going to see the first ever effort in American history to reclaim the ultimately trillions of dollars that were stolen from taxpayers. I believe, and President Trump believes, that when this theft is exposed, we will see that if all of it were stopped, it would be enough to balance the budget. The extraction of wealth from American taxpayers to people who don't belong
balance
here.
The budget.
Yeah, the primary cause of the national debt, and this is the first ever effort to shut that down. Thank you, Mr. President.
First ever. And everyone knows they've been cheating for years. It's the first ever. And it's got to be stopped. I mean, it's got to be stopped. Think of it. Somalia is a third world, maybe a fourth world nation. One of the worst, one of the most dangerous. They don't have anything. Pirates. They don't have councils. They don't have government. They don't have police. They shoot each other all over the place. They come here and they steal $19
They have voter ID.
That's right. Crazy.
That's true. To vote, you have to have an ID.
I hope this is part of it, but she married her brother, supposedly. I mean, there's a lot of documentation. That means she's here illegally and she's a congresswoman. And I hope you're going to be looking at that, or somebody is, all right? Because she's one of the ringleaders here. She's bad news, really bad news. She's so bad for our country. Anyway,
I love that.
JD, please say a few words.
Yes, well, thank you, Mr. President. This is a very important whole of government approach to tackle the fraud problem. And let me just tell one story. One of the things that even before this executive order was signed that we were able to stop under the president's leadership is we saw evidence that in Minneapolis there were Somalis, primarily illegal immigrants, who were defrauding a Medicaid program that was meant to go to autistic children. So they were taking children who were supposed to get benefits, and they were claiming that their kids were actually autistic even though they weren't. And what did this mean? This meant two things. Number one, you had a lot of people getting rich off of the fraud while American citizens got poor. And the second thing that it meant is that you had autistic kids in Minneapolis, in suburban Minneapolis, who weren't getting benefits they needed because Somali fraudsters were literally stealing out of their pocket. It's got to stop. And unfortunately, that kind of fraud is one example of probably hundreds just within within the state of Minneapolis, and then it's repeated and replayed all over the United States of America. When we first started talking about this problem, the president made it very clear he wanted us to take the fraud problem seriously because nobody had until he was president. We started to figure out one big hole that existed is that the agencies of the government weren't actually talking to each other. So Treasury would have evidence of financial fraud, but wasn't talking to the Department of Justice about it. Health and Human Services had evidence of Medicaid fraud, but wasn't talking to the Department of Treasury about it. So what this executive order does is force the entire apparatus of the federal government to do two things: stop the fraud on the American taxpayer and make sure that the benefits that ought by right go to American citizens and not to fraudsters. Andrew Ferguson will be the vice chair and is going to do a great job. If you're curious what's the difference between the vice chair and the chair, the vice chair is going to do all the work. Take all the credit.
Now, let's take a break here, but if he's still talking later, answering questions again, we'll come back. He's announcing a task force, J.D. Vance the head of it. The two first targets, he said, are California and New York, but he obviously is going into Minneapolis, and here we go. And also, can you imagine if he gets rid of Ilhan Omar? He married her brother, I love this. Kimmer Payton Flounder, 416, 1063. We'll be right back with the president. He's still there. Hold on now.
Are you paying too much in taxes? Most people are, and they don't even realize it. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Every year, hardworking individuals and business owners send more money to the IRS than they legally have to. I hate to see it. Not because they did anything wrong, but because the tax code is complex. It's always changing, and it's full of opportunities most people never hear about. So here's the real question. Could you be paying less in taxes? With the right strategy, many people can. Through smarter planning, overlooked deductions, and better retirement and income decisions, you can win in retirement. That's why we're offering a complimentary tax analysis. No cost, no obligation, just a clear look at where you may be overpaying and what you can do about it. Stop guessing, get answers. Call Nicholas Wealth Management 678-990-8500, 678-990-8500, or visit nicholaswealth.com.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
Shop in the new 2026 Toyota Camry? Psst, come here. Make your move right now during Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event now through March 31st. At Marietta Toyota, every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's unlimited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. And you can buy with confidence. Marietta Toyota is a BBB A+ rated business with a 4.6-star Google rating and over 11,000 reviews. Right now, we've got strong Camry inventory, so you can choose the trim and color you actually want. Special APR is available as well on new 2026 Camrys, 4.99% APR for 72 months for well-qualified buyers. Visit us on Cop Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium, Marietta Toyota. Since 1975, we've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 72 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Offer ends 3/31/26. Lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for details.
Hey, it's Kimmer. Let me ask you something. When you paid your health insurance bill this month, did you think, how am I supposed to keep paying this and I don't even use it? Feels like a waste of money. Well, that's where a lot of people are right now. It's too expensive, but you can't afford to not have it. So what are you supposed to do? Well, that's where my guy Steven comes in, the health insurance doctor. He does this every day. That's why they call him the health insurance doctor. He'll look at what you have and tell you straight if there's a better way. Here's an example. This is true. One family was paying over $3,000 a month. Now it's around $1,200 without sacrificing coverage. Does not happen for everybody, but shows it's possible. And yes, there are plans with PPO networks, no deductible options, year-round enrollment. Anybody can sit around and just complain about their premiums all year, but not everybody can do something about it. My friend Steven, health insurance doctor, 678-523-0759. You could be saving money before you even know it. The health insurance doctor, 678-523-0759. healthinsurancedoctor.net. Let's go right back to the White House, Flounder. Donald Trump still speaking. Here we go.
But let me sign this first before I don't forget. Let's see. Before I decide not to, okay? Yes, sir. I don't forget not to, but maybe I'll decide not to. I would decide not to if I didn't think they could do the job.
He's going to sign the order, I think.
I would decide not to. But that'll be a terrible thing. I think they're going to find numbers, Andrew. I think you're going to find numbers that are far higher than you even think. And you know, Andrew came to us. He said, "Sir, He's read the stories about Minnesota. We know California is many times worse, but Minnesota is terrible. They're all terrible. Those cities are terrible. New York is terrible. What's going on in Chicago, Illinois, with that slob of a governor is terrible. And the kind of money we're talking about is just country changing. It's country changing money. It's having a deficit to having a really profitable country where you can lower your taxes substantially for people. And I think you have an opportunity to do it. And I think you two guys are the right guy. If you guys can't do it, we've got a problem, because nobody else will be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
He's now signing the new task force order.
We'll take some nice questions from our wonderful media.
He blasted an ABC girl last night. So you're the worst. Not taking any more from ABC. There's that silly sound of that silly big pen he's got.
Best signature ever.
That up and down scratching. I love it.
Very important. That's a big deal.
All right, there it is.
We've been working on this very long. Really?
Yes,
See,
sir.
right? Will?
Yes, sir.
Andrew, do you have a question?
All right, here we go.
Yes,
Questions again. Second time today, live at the
You said
Web.
during your State of the Union that this type of fraud, the corruption, is the type of thing that can shred the fabric of a nation. Why do you suppose then that leaders in recent memory haven't looked at the systemic amount of fraud
Because
that's
they're
taking
crooked.
place? And
Because they're crooked. They make money.
Next
they
question.
gain power. They use it for power. Like with the Somalians, they vote in a block, 100%. They make a deal with the Somalians. They all vote because they're on a gravy train. It's money first, power second. A lot of people say power first now. It's money first, power second. Do you ever see where, like, Mercedes, people come over from Somalia, they have no money, and now they're buying Mercedes-Benz cars, okay? It's more cash goes out of the Minnesota airport than any other place in the world. We're going to find it. And Minnesota's really bad. The governor's corrupt. The attorney general's totally corrupt. Just like the New York State attorney general, Letitia James. She's a highly corrupt person. Bragg, the DA, is a corrupt person. They're all corrupt. These are corrupt people. And we got too many of them in our country. And we have to expose them, and we have to catch them. And if these two guys can't, these are high IQ people. I've always liked high IQ. These are high IQ people.
You ever heard a president like this?
Don't do it. We're going to go a long way, fellas, to find somebody else that's going to. We have no choice. If honestly, and they may not do a good job. If they don't do a good job, it's possible. If they don't do a good job, the country's sort of in trouble. Yes, go ahead.
Thanks, sir. Two questions for the
And I think they're going to do a great job. Go ahead.
First, Mr. Vice President, Democrats are already calling you the fraud czar. What's your reaction to that title? And then second,
good title.
Second, given
I like it.
Past skepticism of foreign adventurism, are you completely on board with the current war in Iran?
So I like fraud czar. It's certainly what we're going to do. And look, we have to do it. As the president said, this is a problem that has festered in this country for far too long, and far too few people have actually wanted to do anything about it. That's what makes this administration different, is that we actually tackle the problems the American people have been confronting. So I'm very happy about it. And look, I think that I know what you're trying to do, Phil. You're trying to drive a wedge between members of the administration, between me and the president. What the president said consistently, going back to 2015, and I agreed with him, is that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. We have taken this military action under the president's leadership. I think all of us, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, should pray for success and pray for the safety of our troops. That's the approach that I've taken. Make it as successful as possible.
So there's no hesitation, given your past statements, with the current operation?
He's still at it. That reporter.
No hesitation with my past statements.
Given your skepticism of foreign adventurism, you were a critic of the global war on terror previously.
Well, I think one big difference, Phil, is that we have a smart president, whereas in the past we've had dumb presidents. And I trust President Trump to get the job done, to do a good job for the American people, and to make sure that the mistakes of the past aren't repeated. Absolutely.
Thanks, sir.
Look, JD's been great, but here's the simple thing, and I have, some people, I don't want wars. I want wars less than almost anybody. Peace through strength. But you know what? I've watched Iran for a long time. I've called them out 20 years ago when I was a civilian that liked watching the world. And they're violent, vicious people. The leadership, violent, vicious people. They killed 32,000 protesters over the last 3 weeks. They put out a memo 2 days ago saying, if you protest, we will shoot you and kill you in the streets. And somebody said, oh, there's not that many protests. Well, first of all, there are bombs going off all over the place. But even if there weren't, who's going to do that? You know, who's going to do it? They don't have any guns, and the other ones have latest in line machine gun, right? And every form of gun you can have, they shoot them right through the middle of the head. They're violent people. Wow. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would use it. And sometimes I'll have some of the people that, you know, feel very strongly, like I do about wars. And I say, do you think Iran is violent, and do you think their people are violent? Yes, leadership. Do you think they should have a nuclear weapon, which is massive power? I don't even want to discuss how powerful, because it's depressing. And they said, no, they shouldn't have. Definitely they shouldn't have. I said, and you don't want to fight war? No, we don't want to fight war. So these are naive people that frankly are stupid. If you believe that Iran should have a nuclear weapon, there's something wrong with you, because they would use it within, the only question is within 1 hour if they get it, or 1 day. They will use it, and they will blow up the entire Middle East, not just Israel. They'll start with Israel, but they will blow up. And you got to see that when they unexpectedly started sending missiles to every country within 1,000 miles of them.
Qatar.
I mean, they're blowing up countries
Killed
that
a
were
guy.
Neighbors, not necessarily some friends. They actually were blowing up some friends. They were blowing up the people that handle their accounts. They're sending thousands of missiles into countries that didn't expect to be in the war, because they wanted to take over the Middle East. And if I didn't terminate Barack Hussein Obama's horrible Iran nuclear deal, which I did in my first term, one of the dumbest deals, perhaps the dumbest deal, because of the danger involved, you would have had them have a nuclear weapon 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. They would have used it, blown up the Middle East, and they would have then come after us. And if these gorgeous B-2 bombers, give me that bomber, Andrew. Let me just hug that little
He's got a model airplane. He's got a model airplane in the B-2.
This looks small, but in person it's very big. It's the only plane capable of carrying a 200,000-pound bomb. So I don't know how they do it, because it's very sleek and nice, but it carries a lot of weapons, and there's a lot of bombs. But had I not sent this incredible machine times numerous others to hit Iran at midnight with no moon, dead dark, every single bomb was dropped right down the chute that it was supposed to hit. How they do it, who knows? Nobody else can figure it. No other country can do it. No other country has our military or even close. And I think we've probably proven that with Venezuela, and now with because we have done a number in Iran. But if I didn't do that, if I didn't decimate, I call it their nuclear dust, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month after that bombing took place, and they would have used it on first Israel and then the Middle East. And you know that because all of those missiles that were launched against their neighbors were set long ago, long before they knew they would be using them this quickly. Had we not done this, you would have had a nuclear war that would have evolved into World War III. And more important, this is a war that there would have been nothing left. So we've done a great thing. The people that say it's okay for a very sick ideology, a very sick country in terms of its leadership, very good people, great people. But the people that say that, I think they're actually, they're either evil or they're stupid. So if you believe that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon, they should not have it, then you have to absolutely love what I've done, because in 2 weeks we have decimated them. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft weapons. They have no leadership. The leadership is gone. But then they set up a new leadership to go and name a new leader, and that leadership is gone. And now they think maybe the sun is gone. They're all gone. My biggest problem is I have no idea who we're talking to because nobody ever heard of any of these people. They're all dead.
Donald Trump live at the White House. Well, we'll be back to him. This is amazing. Again, this second time today just goes live for a couple hours. It opens up the country to the country. It's fantastic. 4:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Well, with this cold weather snap coming and all that wind, holy cow, how are your windows holding up? Seriously, if you've had a leak, I'll bet you really have a leak now, and you can tell if it's just not doing the right thing for your home. Well, guess what? You know, I love putting my name on people I know and family businesses that I've been working with. They're off and on, whatever, for so many years, like 25, including my buddy Jeff from Peach State Windows. Now, these guys, this is a family business. His wife's probably going to answer the phone. They've been serving Georgia homeowners for decades and decades. He knows all about this goofy weather, and it's going to get hot again. He knows about our building codes and what actually holds up in Georgia homes. Also, because it's a local business right here, not one of those national firms that hires, I don't know, stringers or something, Jeff has got a way to offer you a savings that those big guys can't beat. How about this? 8 a special deal, 8 premium Energy Star double hung replacement windows fully installed for $39.95. That's 8 windows for under $4,000 installed. You won't find that kind of value from those big national companies. Another bonus, how about this? 0% financing for 12 months. 770-485-8011. Making the uglies go away. PeachStateWindows.com.
Hello.
Hey, is this Mike Fitzgerald?
No, I think you have the wrong number. Wish I could help you.
Well, you could if you were Mike Fitzgerald.
Who is Mike Fitzgerald?
Mike Fitzgerald is the only realtor I'll talk to because he can sell my house fast for a great price and even in this market.
Yeah, I'm definitely not Mike Fitzgerald.
Oh, I figured that out because Mike Fitzgerald would have sold my house already.
Selling your home? You need Mike Fitzgerald from the Harry Norman Realtors team. Visit brokermike.com or call 678-780-HOME.
So, you had a long day. You decided to stop for a cocktail on the way home. The next thing you know, you had one too many and you just got pulled over. You need A Second Chance bail bonds. A Second Chance can get you or loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases, in a matter of hours. A Second Chance bail bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Get help now. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or contact them online at atlbail.com.
Hi, it's Lowe's, here with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
You know, Lowe's, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the honest car guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, on a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%, or really it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The honest car guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the honest car guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards. So you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com. Well, now we got distracted with Donald Trump, going live and everything. So
update.
I didn't get a lot of
check in with
stories counted done.
Stories prepared
it's just,
versus stories actually covered.
I tried to get live with the president. Kind of took priority. Yes.
You through?
Shut up. Birthday boy. Pete Davis says birthday. He's going to let me have it. Here you go. Go ahead.
10 stories you bugged us with this morning.
Well,
10 on my birthday. You woke me up with 10 stories.
I know. At 5:45, I was
3.
Yeah.
You've done 3.
Hey, that's Hall of Fame in baseball.
That's 300. You're right.
I'll try to do better. Anyway, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230 is the number. Lori, phone calls take priority. Lori, I believe, is on the horn with it. Hey, Lori, how you doing? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer.
How you doing, sweetie?
How are y'all?
I'm doing great. What's up with you?
Happy birthday, Pete. I had mine Friday.
Oh, well, happy birthday belatedly. Excellent. Well done. I hope you had fun time.
We did. We did. I got spoiled.
You got bald?
I think I got, close to that. I think it's hilarious the way Trump calls the governors and all out by the good names, not Hitler and all that. He calls them just what they are.
Yeah.
And that's why the people love him, because they can't get nothing on him. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're dumb. I love it. I just love it.
I mean, it's amazing. It just slanders people.
But he slanders them in the right way, not the way they do him.
Yeah, he calls them out just like you said exactly. It just makes me laugh. I think, oh yeah, she married her brother. Should be kicked out of the country. She's dangerous. Oh my God.
Well, just like you do me. You'll be talking and you'll say something and I'll just bust out it's wonderful to laugh. And he makes us laugh, and there has been none other like him.
Well,
and will never be.
I know, and it's amazing. And I kind of feel bad that people who are too young to remember what it used to be like. I mean, the country's never had a leader of any kind like this. I mean, it's just really remarkable. And the world has never, there's not a single other leader in any country in the world who's ever been like Donald Trump, as open and honest and above board and straightforward and let me have it and go. No one's ever been like this, any country in the world.
Do you know what it's made? Judge Judy was on a reel the other day, and she slammed the media right there behind her podium, too. And it's just gave everybody balls to do it, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
They're not scared anymore.
In fact, he did it today. There was a reporter, I can't remember his name, and he was trying, and J.D. Vance said, "You're just trying to drive a wedge between the president and me." And the reporter tried to, old quotes that came up from 10 years ago or something. I mean, it's just, they can't stop. They won't stop.
But they have nothing that's old. Nobody wants to hear them.
Yeah.
We like the new stuff. We want to hear about the fraud that they're taking our money, and we're going after them. You know, that's why the media is nothing no more, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad you called, Tweety.
You did a great job.
All right, doll.
And Flounder?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am?
I love that you called it patio party, and I told Vaughn, I said, well, we do that all the time, but we never called it patio party, and so we patio party too.
There you go.
I got a feeling that his patio party and your patio party might not exactly be the same.
No, you don't know that. Mine might be more than his.
Well, I don't even want to know. I want. All right, baby. You have a great day, Lori. It's always a pleasure. Give her Pete and Flounder. 440-404-741-1230. Pete Davis, birthday boy. I did want to mention a quick birthday here. In fact, want to go back to Donald Trump? He's still there.
Fraud in California and New York, of course, about Minnesota. And President Trump, first could ask you, you said earlier today that the new Supreme Leader, Tabitha Khomeini, you don't know if he's dead or alive. There are a couple of interesting reports about him today. There's one report that he just narrowly escaped death in the first airstrikes by stepping out into his garden. There's another report that he may actually be gay despite leading the theocracy that hangs gay people. How do you determine what's true, and do you have an assessment of this?
Well, so far nobody knows. If you look at his father, he used to give
with the new Ayatollah, Cockamamie.
Talking about death to America. They say death to America all the time. When they say death to America, you should believe them, because that's what they would have. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. But they never had the chance. I never gave them the chance to use it. And other presidents should have done. I spoke to one of the former presidents who I actually like. I actually speak to some. I do like some people. It would be shocking. And he said, I wish I did what you did. Could have done it. Other presidents, somebody should have done it. 47 years this went on. They call Iran the bully of the Middle East. And you could have never had the Abraham Accords. You could never have had peace in the Middle East. Now you're going to have peace. You could never do it with the dark cloud of a nuclear Iran. But Iran is a shell of itself. It's no longer a bully. It's the one that gets bullied. It's a bully that got beat up. We beat the crap out of them. And they deserve that. You know, when you see a soldier walking down the street without his arms, or being helped down the street because he's got no legs, or his face is blown to smithereens with no legs and no arms, those two, no legs, no arms, and a face that got racked. That was done by roadside bombs. That's the favorite weapon of Soleimani, who I killed in my first administration. General Soleimani. Had I not killed him, that was the beginning of their downfall, because had he not gone, it's possible that we would not be this far advanced in destroying Iran, because he was a really good general. He was a vicious, horrible man, but he was a brilliant general. And he was looking to knock out 5 of our military bases at one time. And the man that died with him was his counterpart in Iraq. And they were working together. And they got hit real hard. And if that didn't happen, we would have had a problem. But maybe more importantly than that, he was really the mastermind behind it. And they never found somebody to replace him in terms of the genius. I knocked him out, and that was a big step, knocking him out. But if we didn't get rid of the Obama deal, I terminated it against the wishes of my then Secretary of State. He was no Marco. Against the wishes of a lot of people at the time. You remember that, Peter? A lot of people. And I'm not terminated. Remember that, Stephen? You remember?
Stephen Miller?
This is not... That deal was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have had it 3 years ago, and it would have been used, I would say, 2 to 3 years ago, and it would have been used in the Middle East. And by the way, after they were finished that, they were coming over here. They never got a chance to do it.
But I just want to ask you about something very interesting that you said twice today. You talked to another former president about the Iran strikes.
I did.
Was it George W. Bush?
No.
Was it Bill Clinton?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Because
Barack Obama.
A member of a party. A member of a party.
Still trying.
James Garfield.
Have Trump derangement syndrome.
Basil Rathbone.
Somebody that happens to like me, and I like that person who's a smart person. But that person said, I wish I did it. Okay, but I don't want to get into who.
Okay.
I don't want to get him into trouble.
That was Clinton.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I think you probably know. You know, it's interesting.
Guarantee it wasn't W.
I could even ask him that. Would you like me to reveal your name?
Clinton. Got to be Clinton.
Peter at Fox. Well, at least you have high ratings. Your ratings are through the roof, Peter.
Yes, thank you for noticing.
Congratulations.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
If Iran, as you said, totally obliterated, got the missiles, got the first 2 rounds of leadership, Air Force gone, Navy gone, can we wrap this war up this week?
Yeah, sure.
Will we?
I don't think so, but it'll be soon. Won't be long. And we're going to have a much safer world when it's wrapped up. It'll be wrapped up soon. We're going to have a much safer world. I had an obligation to do this. I didn't want to, I call it an excursion. I didn't want to make this journey. And we had the highest stock market in history. We had low gas prices. Everything was good. And I know exactly. I know what, you're going to do it, and people are going to raise the price of oil, and that's it. But I know that. But that's a very small thing compared to allowing them to have. You want to see a stock market go down? Start letting them hit you with nukes, okay? I think, I said it this morning, I think it's a very small price to pay. And frankly, I thought it was going to go down much more, if you want to know the truth. I assumed that it was going to go down much more, only because people don't understand to a large, it's a big chess game at a very high level. It's a very high level chess, the highest. And I'm dealing with very smart players. These are smart people. They don't get there. You know, when you deal with some of these people, you're dealing with high level intellect, very high IQ people. These are not Jasmine Crockett and their group. These are smart people. These are really smart people, and violent people, and vicious people, and some very nice people. And some are very nice but violent. They turn violent. But you know what? If I didn't do what I did, we would have been hit. Number one, very important.
I don't want to stop listening, but we can't.
Deal. And number 2,
let's go.
This beautiful plane hitting them 8 months ago, whatever it was, and taking out their nuclear capacity. That totally threw them for a loop. If they had that bomb at either time, 5 years ago or 7 months ago, if they had that bomb would have been used almost immediately.
Mr. President, 2 questions on domestic policy, bringing it close to home. First of all, the Save America Act. What are you expecting this week when this vote takes place in the U.S. Senate? Will the Vice President's vote be...
I think it's imperative that it gets done. I'm not sure it is, you know. The Democrats have horrible policy. It's just incredible. But they stick together. It's the one thing they do. Their Supreme Court members stick together. Those appointed by a Democrat stick together. If Barack Hussein Obama appoints a member of the Supreme Court,
I love what he says, Hussein.
That member never goes against him. And they're proud about it. They say, I don't give a damn if it's good or bad. That man appointed me, and I'm never going to let him down. I don't say that's right, wrong. I just say they stick together. Republicans go the opposite way. If Donald Trump appointed me, I'm going to show the world that I can be totally just and I can be independent of Donald Trump. He's not controlling me. And I don't want to control them. I just want to have smart decisions. They gave us a decision on tariffs the other day that won't change tariffs. I can do it a different way. I always knew I could do it a different way. This was a little quicker, a little easier, a little better. But they gave it a decision that could cost this country $500 billion to pay people back. Because now I have to start the tariffs all over again. Very simple. And what happens with the money I've already collected? Why didn't they say, starting from now, go the other way? $500 billion, perhaps. It's so sad. But one thing about the Democrats, they stick together like Luke. They impeached me twice for absolutely no reason, unanimously. Fortunately, the Republicans stuck together, and it was something. It was pretty wild. But the Democrats have horrible policy, transgender for everybody, open borders, men playing in women's sports. But the one thing they do have is they stick together, no matter how bad the policy. It's embarrassing to watch them try to defend it. And in a way, I say, as a Republican, I say, thank goodness they have bad policy, because you'd never beat them. We have something in there now, the Save America Act. Voter ID with a picture, right? That's a 99% issue. Even among Democrats. Democrats poll at 89% on that. And then they have proof of citizenship. And then they have no mail-in ballots. No mail-in ballots. We have no mail-in. You go to California, they send out like 38 million ballots. Some Democrats got 7, 8 ballots. Republicans are a lot of times calling in, where's my ballot? Where's my ballot? They're lucky to get one. Jimmy Carter, probably the greatest thing he ever did. I thought he was a nice man, not a great president, to put it mildly. How did his attack work out in Iran? Not too good. I think ours is slightly better, wouldn't you say? But Jimmy Carter, the one thing he did after he left with Scoop Jackson and some others, they formed a very elite council, a committee that came out and said very strongly, no mail-in ballots, because we're the only country in the world that has mail-in ballots like we do. The only country in the whole world. People have tried it. France tried it, and they went away. They're now doing paper ballots, watermark paper, which is very hard to cheat. So when you look at what happens with this country, we really have to fix it. That'll be very popular. The other thing we put in there, just as best of, I call it the best of Trump. We have the 3 things I just said, right? But then I added on no men playing in women's sports, and I added in no transgender surgery, the mutilation of our children. We have no mutilation of our children, no transgender. I think they say that's an 80% issue. I think they're 99% issues, but whether they're 80% or 99%, the problem is we have a couple of Republicans. They shouldn't be allowed. They're horrible people, and they're willing to vote against anything. And we have all the Democrats who will vote against it. So I think it hurts the Democrats to vote against it, because I'm going to instruct all the Republicans to say that so-and-so that they're running against voted against the saving of our children from transgender mutilation, right? That's pretty unpopular. They want men and women's sports. That's pretty unpopular. They want voter ID, but the Democrats don't. Everybody wants voter ID. Everybody wants proof of citizenship. And most people don't want mail-in voting because they know it's a fraud. Touches too many hands. I mean, the postman gets it, this one gets it, that one. So these are all issues that are in the 90s to 100. I would say some are virtually 100%. And the interesting thing is that way not only with the Republic, I'm not talking about leadership, I'm talking about they're that way also, most importantly, with the people.
Mitch
the people
McConnell's
of our country want voter ID. The people of our country want proof of citizenship. And that includes 88%, 89% of Democrats. And I think the Republicans, Eric Schmidt, Rick Scott, Tim Scott, I speak to so many of them, they all want it. I hope John Thune can get it across the line. He's trying. I mean, he told me this morning, I spoke to him, he's trying. I think it'll be a very, very bad thing for our country if they don't. We're just asking for basic things. Think of it. You can't have voter ID. Do you know in California, if you ask a person to show their identification, they have the right to put you in jail. If you're an official and you say, may I please see your identification, you're subject to going to jail. That's how crazy it's gotten. With a low IQ person, you know, because Gavin Newsom has admitted that he has learning disabilities. Honestly, I'm all for people with learning disabilities, but not for my president. I think a president should not have learning disabilities, okay?
Donald Trump.
I know it's highly
We have to break away. I think he enjoys doing this more than anything he's ever done in his life. He'd rather sit with the media now. He loves this. Holy cow, live and in person here. Kevin P. Flounder at 106.3. Look out. Here we go.
Time now for the Retire Wise Report. James Parker here with financial advisor Sean Maloney, founder and CEO of Retire Wise. Many people assume their taxes will automatically go down once they retire and stop collecting paychecks. Sean, is this a dangerous assumption?
It can be, because you know what? Lower taxes in retirement can be a myth. It's not always true, right? Remember, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could be taxed, right? Your traditional IRA and 401k income is 100% taxable, so that needs to be accounted for. And that's why it's so important to find ways to reduce or eliminate your taxes wherever possible.
Tell us about the offer you have for our listeners.
Hey, look, now is the time to start looking ahead and identifying your tax liabilities in retirement. Well, we have a great resource for you guys. We have what's called the Retire Happy Framework Toolkit. You can get a copy today by calling or texting the word WISE to 770-802-2200. My team helped put together this just for you, and it's a complimentary guide. And the center of this is a copy of my latest book, The Priority of Retirement. It has chapters on everything from Social Security to investments to income planning. We include guides in there as well as on strategies for income planning, for taxes, and even dealing with recessions in retirement, among other things. So if you want to get this information in your hands today, call or text the word WISE to 770-802-2200. That's 770-802-2200.
Take advantage of this offer. Get your Retire Happy Framework today. Just text WISE to 770-802-2200. And the team at Retire Wise will get you your Retire Happy Framework right away. So just call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Firm does not provide tax services.
The Georgia Swarm are celebrating the best sports fans in the South. Join us for Fan Appreciation Night on Friday, March 20th at Gas South Arena in Duluth. Be there for giveaways and a post-game autograph session on the field. It's all presented by Coastal States Bank. Swarm fans, you guys make the Hive buzz, and we want to thank you so much. Get your professional lacrosse tickets today at georgiaswarm.com for Friday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m. Gas South Arena. That's georgiaswarm.com.
Truist Park is waiting for you, Braves country. Baseball is back, and so are your Atlanta Braves. The opening homestand of the 2026 season begins March 27th through the 29th as the Kansas City Royals come to town for opening weekend. The homestand begins with 2 gate giveaways, a magnetic schedule powered by Georgia Power, plus a rally towel presented by Racetrack to bring the energy to the home opener atmosphere on Friday, March 27th. Then on Sunday, March 29th, it's the first Kids Club giveaway of the year. The first 3,000 kids through the gates will receive a Ronald Acuna Jr. chenille cap, and families can enjoy exciting pregame activities inside Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Park. The excitement continues March 30th through April 1st as the Athletics visit Truist Park, and tickets start at just $10. Plus, fans can score a Drake Baldwin NL Rookie of the Year bobblehead on March 31st, presented by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets now at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Exmark. Spring is knocking, and that lawn isn't going to cut itself. Get ready to mow smarter with Exmark mowers from Howard Brothers. With Exmark, you get durability, precision, and performance you can count on season after season. And at Howard Brothers, they've got the expert advice, trusted service, and equipment that works as hard as you do. Stop by Howard Brothers today or visit howardbrothers.com and power your spring with an Exmark mower.
When it comes to luxury, performance, and cutting-edge technology, few brands do it better than Cadillac.
And there's no better place to experience Cadillac than Jim Ellis Cadillac, where buying a luxury vehicle is just as refined as the vehicle itself.
From the bold Escalade to the sleek XT5, the powerful CT5, and the electrifying new Lyriq, you'll find an impressive selection ready to go.
That means more choices, more availability, and competitive pricing, all with the transparent, no-pressure approach Jim Ellis is known for.
And with the Jim Ellis Expressway, you can start your purchase online. Value your trade, schedule a test drive, even complete paperwork from home.
It's luxury car buying made simple and convenient on your terms. Or shop in person and enjoy a professional, welcoming dealership experience that puts you first.
To get started, visit JimEllisCadillac.com or stop by the Jim Ellis Cadillac dealership on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Brady, Fox News. When will the fighting with Iran be over? The president just telling reporters it won't be long.
And we're going to have a much safer world when it's wrapped up. It'll be wrapped up soon. We're going to have a much safer world. I had an obligation to do this. I didn't want to, I called it an excursion. I didn't want to make this journey.
Also saying again, oil prices will go back down when the fighting ends. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Republican policies are damaging the American quality of life.
They've now gotten us into a reckless war of choice against Iran.
He says dropping bombs is costing billions. President Trump says Iran can't be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Israel launching what it calls a limited ground operation in southern Lebanon overnight, targeting Iran proxy Hezbollah. The UK, France, Germany, and Italy just out with a joint statement of grave concern about escalating violence in Lebanon, calling for Israeli and Lebanese talks on a sustainable political solution. A risk of severe weather, including possible tornadoes, stretching from the Carolinas to Pennsylvania, with some schools closing early, including in the nation's capital.
Our current risk level is similar to that of traditional tornado alley states like Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee. And the last time we had these conditions was the 2012 derecho that caused significant damage to the district.
Clint Osborne, director of DC's Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency, urging people to take this storm seriously. This as blizzard conditions continue in parts of the Midwest, several feet of snow possible by tomorrow, delaying or canceling more than 12,000 flights today. A partial government shutdown also impacting airports, with TSA agents among the Homeland Security operations not getting funded. Republicans blame the Democrat push for ICE reforms. Democrats say the GOP should agree to separate ICE from the rest of DHS funds. America's listening to Fox News.
Here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of leg, ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kipper with the birthday boy, Pete Davis. And the mountains of Macon, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder, and you on 106.3. How's it going? Monday, what a wacky day. Donald Trump twice today. He just ended up recently, like a couple hours a time. He's just going live all day long. It's unbelievable. I just get the biggest kick out of this. And honestly, he loves all of a sudden, he loves messing with the media. He loves messing with the media. I think he has more fun doing this than anything he's ever done in his life, more than you get fired or anything else, honestly. And he owns a joint. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And one of the minor points of interest to me today, just found out this afternoon, something popped up, and it turns out that Steak and Shake is now offering their tater tots cooked in beef tallow. And that's
their
like
fries did that. They did that with their fries a few months ago. They launched that.
Well, now their tater tots are also in beef tallow, and of course the leftists and liberals are going nuts. But that's the way McDonald's fries used to be. That's when the best thing you ever had in your life was McDonald's French fries, and they were 15 cents when I was a kid in the 60s, and because they cooked them in beef fat. And so that's what anyway. So Steak and Shake, they have the new headquarters downstairs here. Thank God they don't have the restaurants, because otherwise it'd be lines that we never get into work.
Oh boy!
But it would be fun to have some of those steak sandwiches and the milkshakes handy, because those are delicious.
There's a Steak and Shake right across the street.
Where?
Here in the Battery, right across the street from the Battery,
across Cobb Parkway.
Well, I don't think I knew that. I may have to go.
Yeah, I don't think you go in the front entrance. You come in through the back.
I come in the back. Yeah.
You take
well, that's me.
You like the rear.
But they don't like the Kimmer coming in the front. They
rear entry.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, yeah. Thank you. Happy Monday. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 5:06. And again, Pete Davis, happy birthday. And many more, of course. And let's see. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We'll have the latest on Donald Trump. And again, I can't believe it. He went live twice today for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. He just has the media in and says, okay, here's what's going on, and what do you think? And he asks questions. And every day's a news conference. I mean, basically, it seems every day he holds a news conference. When's the last time you remember the former administration holding any news conference?
Not in the Oval Office. I don't think he ever did.
Let alone twice a day for hours.
It's like, how dare we want to know what the government is doing? Our own government. They're supposed to work for us, not the other way around.
Our tax dollars pay their salary.
It's really amazing. And again, I know you're probably tired of me saying this, but I'm telling you, this is astounding. As a news guy, as a radio guy for 61 years, and a news guy for most of that, this is just a remarkable achievement in politics and leadership. And today he announced that the reason he had the afternoon news conference today, or the live announcement, was that J.D. Vance, the vice president, boy, is he grooming him to take over for the next 8 years. Grooming J.D. Vance is in charge now of a national task force to investigate fraud. And the original two targets, he said, are California and New York. And he talked a lot about Minneapolis and Minnesota. And Donald Trump said, if you missed the live thing a little while ago, he said, we know that Minneapolis has got billions of dollars. And he said, California is so much more corrupt, you won't even believe it. And the same with New York State. In fact, I recall last week, somebody revealed that in Los Angeles County alone, just Los Angeles County, there are 1,800 hospice centers. 1,800 hospice centers, and at least 700 of them are frauds. They have like hundreds of people, and they're all the same address or the same name or something. It's a way to make money. And finally, someone's going to be cracking down. Anyway, so Donald Trump just doing the amazing, spectacular live every day. It's just astounding. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. By the way, the new gay Ayatollah, somebody suggested that earlier today on the radio. The new Ayatollah Khamenei's kid is apparently gay. He's well known for flirting with other men. Apparently, they say now he's still alive, and the word is from the inside. Now, Pete mentioned this may be a CIA plant of something, but the word today in the afternoon is that when he's been hospitalized, he's been hurt in the raid, and he apparently has been hitting on the male attendants. the male doctors who have been taking care of him, and he says trying to get a little action going. And by the way, he apparently barely survived with his life. If he did, now he could be dead. He hasn't made any public appearances, and you would think that they would at least have a picture of him saying. In fact, if he had been hurt, if it were me, if it were I would think I would have had a picture of him saluting from the hospital. But they tried to kill me, but we're still here fighting. You know what I mean? They would have some kind of publicity photo to say he's still going strong, baby. You're not going to take us down, and nothing.
He's a coward.
Yeah.
If he's alive, he's a coward.
Yeah. And apparently they say that there's new audio that someone released, and it says that the baby cockamamie stepped away from where his father and family were for the meeting. He had to go outside in the garden for a minute, it says, and that's when the blast hit. The military chief was blown to bits. The Ayatollah's son-in-law found with his head split in two. The baby Ayatollah's wife was killed. His son was killed. His father was killed. The senior members were all killed. And they said it's lucky he went outside in the garden for something.
Lucky. I'm sorry. We've seen enough mob movies. When the guy gets up and walks outside right as the attack occurs, he's the mole.
Yeah, I'll be darned. Ironically. I mean, seriously, who knows? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, what a freaking place. Amazing. All right, Kimmer P. and Flounder. Oh, by the way, Flounder, let's do this. Flounder found a soundbite from the hideous Joy Reid. If I'm not mistaken, she went to Harvard. Of course, her major was something like art industrial design for cultural significance, or something like that. We're working with RD projects and poster boards or something for Harvard, her degree. And here's her reaction to the fact that the Iranian women's soccer team has now had to give in and say forget the asylum business, because apparently their families have been kidnapped and tortured, and so they're afraid for their families, so they've given up trying to be free. And here's what Joy Reid on MSSUX or whatever one of them, I forgot what her show was. Here's what Joy Reid says about the women of Iran and how much better they are off now over there. Flounder?
Our regime has secret police. They have secret police. Our regime is oppressing women, taking away abortion rights, taking away women's rights in like 26 states, some states where they're trying to have the death penalty for having an abortion. They also oppress women. They have the highest rate of women who are in STEM careers. We're kicking women out of the military, out of university. We're saying that DEI means women can't be hired for high positions in the sciences. We're marginally better, and we're doing it for Christianity. They're doing it for Islam, right? Yeah. So it's like we don't get told those things because it would take away the kind of American exceptionalism narrative.
She's saying it out loud. Yeah. They hate Christians.
She's actually saying they're better off in Iran than the way we treat women in America?
Women are better off in Iran than they are here and have more rights than they do here. That's either she's an incredibly stupid woman or she's gaslighting everybody for money.
I don't understand. I mean, what kind of money would it take for you to feel that way if you didn't believe it? She must believe it.
She's a stupid woman. She's a very overeducated, stupid woman.
And again, I saw it just very quick. We're going to do sports here. We got a lot of sports to talk about coming up here in just a second. An NBC News poll found that a couple of years ago, 13% of Democrats had a negative view on Israel. A couple of years ago, like 80% of Democrats had a positive view on Israel. Today, of the Democrats in America, 13% view Israel positively, 60% view Israel compared to Iran negatively. 60% of the Democrats in America find fault with Israel. We're here. 513.
How many of them are Jewish, too?
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's part of the party line. They have to fall in line with the party line.
Their party's more important than their country and their religion.
It's unbelievable. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Sports coming up. Look out, 513. Here we go.
You've been warned. If the Dems win the midterms, the border opens back up. Impeachment comes down, and you get more riots in the streets. Now's the time to hunker down and vote red. Count on Extra 106.3 to bring you the stories that matter from the most trusted voices in the country. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Well, this kind of weather's sort of goofy, isn't it? If your plants went flying and you're a builder or contractor and needed some landscaping help, Stovall and Company. Stovall and Company, third generation family business. They got the name on the door, so they're going to get there fast and early. If you need it right away, they do on-site job delivery, and it's probably already on the way for you. 11 locations serving you. Latest one up there in Canton. And Paul and the boys, again, they have the shrubs and trees and irrigation systems and sprinklers and concrete help if you're putting in an outdoor fireplace or a kitchen by the pool or whatever. And if they don't have something you need special, they can tell you where else to get it. What a company. StovallInc.com.
Attention, extra listeners. Tax season is here. Do you have a retirement tax strategy in place? Because tax planning for retirement is not just about reporting your taxes, it's about planning them. We work with you to create an efficient tax plan to take you through the next stage of life, the next 10 years, 20, 30, and beyond. We'll help keep the golden years golden. Our fiduciary team provides personalized guidance to keep your financial future secure. Don't wait. Plan now for peace of mind. Schedule your complimentary consultation today at masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Hey, Atlanta, if you've been waiting for the right time to upgrade your truck, you're in luck. Because right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, you can save up to $13,250 off MSRP on in-stock 2026 GMC Sierra SLT models.
That's big savings on one of the most powerful, capable, and best-looking trucks on the road. Whether you need it for work, play, or both, check out this savings example of 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT, stock number GS4589, MSRP $67,675. After $10,250 in Jim Ellis discounts, your sale price is just $57,425.
And if you've got a 2011 or newer vehicle to trade, you can qualify for up to $3,000 in trade-in assistance, pushing your total savings up to $13,250 off MSRP.
Find your new Sierra and save at Jim Ellis Buick GMC.com or shop in person, located on Peachtree Industrial inside the perimeter or off Highway 20 in Beaufort.
Offer excludes TABT and state fees. Expires March 31st, 2026. Jim Ellis Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. It's 2026 and it's going to be a great year. So let's start the year off with a quiz. So what's the difference in a criminal and a socialist Democrat? Well, a criminal wants to steal your stuff, but a socialist Democrat wants to steal your freedom. So let's talk about safes. The Atlanta Safe House has the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Brands like Browning, Champion, and Fort Knox. With over 500 safes in stock, we are the place to buy a safe. So come by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
It's tax refund season here in Georgia, and a lot of folks are deciding how to spend it. Let me suggest something practical, something you use every day, your air conditioning system. With an earlier and warmer projected spring, your air conditioner is about to start working real hard. If your system is older and inefficient, this might be a smart time to upgrade to a high-efficiency Carrier system to save on your utilities. When you combine proven Carrier technology with an experienced team like at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, you're investing in long-term comfort and efficiency. Right now, you can save up to $1,700 in rebates, plus 60 months 0% financing on qualified systems, making a new system more affordable than you might think. Before that refund disappears on something temporary, invest in comfort that lasts for years. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com today. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering Carrier comfort for the world we share.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Ready to sell your home fast and for top dollar? Trust Design to Sell. Staging and interior design experts recognized as one of the top 10 staging companies in the nation. From stylish redesigns to full-service staging, Design to Sell creates spaces buyers fall in love with. Faster sales, better offers. That's the power of great design. Call 678-505-1433 or visit homedesign2sell.com and ask for the fan special.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? I think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe.
One of the earliest mass-produced books in America, on this day in 1850, The Scarlet Letter. Set in Puritan Bay colonies in the 1600s, the story of a woman who cheated adultery with a scarlet A. You're a tramp. And now, holy crap at sports with Pete Davis.
It's snowing again. It stopped. It's sunny. It melted. Now it's snowing again.
Snowing again, is it?
Yeah. Hey, guess who showed up yesterday after almost a year?
The gopher?
Yep, gopher.
Really?
Grover the groundhog
I'll be damned,
showed
the
up
groundhog.
yesterday.
No, yeah, not a gopher. I mean, a ground. Well, I'll be darned. I'm glad he's doing well.
Very happy. Yep. Braves entertaining Tampa Bay today. Chris Sale started, and the Braves went big, 11-2.
Whoa!
Both Eli White and Drake Baldwin also joined the party with this nugget of joy.
The old joy nugget right here. It's a nugget and enjoying and nugget joy.
The 2-0 pitch. And he lowers the boom deep to right field and long gone. A 3-run home run by Drake Baldwin as that was absolutely pulverized over the wall and right. 11-2 Braves in the 8th.
Ben Ingram on the 6A The Fan app. Yeah, Drake and Eli both went deep. Drake also had a triple and 4 RBIs.
Wow.
White had 2 ribbies. So did Ozzie Albies. Chris Sale went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run, striking out 3. Raisel Iglesias struggled 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits and 1 run. Shortstop Ha-Seong Kim has arrived in Northport, fielding some baseballs and some questions, but not yet swinging a bat. He recovers from that messed up finger he got when he slipped on the ice in the winter over in Korea. Had surgery and all that. Ronald Acuna Jr. still not in camp because his Venezuelan team's still alive in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
They play tonight against the surprise of the tournament, Italy. Winner gets the good old USA. We nipped a massively talented Dominican Republic team 2-1 behind Paul Skeens yesterday. Great bullpen work and 2 solo homers from youngsters Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony. Now, lots of people mad at the final out coming on a called 3rd strike, which looked below the strike zone.
Yeah.
But is it really that bad a call? I've seen the pitch. You could totally see how the home plate umpire could have thought that was a strike. It almost looked like it came over the plate as a strike and then became a ball. It wasn't that low, but I bet you got the ABS system in place 3 years from now when they played at WBC. They should have had it doing this time.
You know, also, if I might, it seems to me that may be one of the toughest pitches for an umpire to call is a breaking ball that goes down at the very last second. And, I mean... you know, the height, you can see left and right. You can see the side of the black and the plate, but going up and down, that's a whole different perspective. I'll bet that's probably one of the hardest pitches to try to call, I'll bet you, the low one.
I love it when a baseball person says, well, it's all part of the game. No, it's not anymore.
It's not.
And it doesn't have to be ever again.
Yeah,
Go away. Aaron Judge, another great throw, gunning down Fernando Tatis, trying to go from first to third. When are they going to learn not to do that against him? Yeah. Despite losing, Juan Soto says his Dominican team is still the best in the world.
Okay. Well,
go home, Juan. You're drunk. Judge says the atmosphere at the WBC is better than the World Series.
Really?
How would he know? He hasn't been in one since
on TV. On TV, it seems that way.
He's playing for the Yankees. He'd been in World Series. Was he there in 2009? Because that's the last time I remember them being.
Just watching on
Am I forgetting one?
On a small screen.
In between now and then. Maybe they were.
I don't think so.
We've got ABS. Now get ready for the real robot umps. Major League Baseball's experiment of a robot umpire technology system, which will allow challenges to check swing calls, is moving up from Class A to AAA. MLB also will test moving second base slightly to position it entirely within the infield, which would reduce it by 9 inches, the distance between first and second and third.
Wait a minute. They want to bring it closer to the pitcher's mound?
Yeah.
And what's the theory on that? What do they mean to bring it into the infield? It's already in the infield.
I think they're trying to increase offense and more stolen bases.
Holy moly. Well, oh boy.
Well, somewhere Ricky Henderson is smiling. Ask him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ricky Henderson is smiling.
Speed,
That's what he'd
baby.
say.
Speed.
New Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has officially signed his contract and put out a hello message to you fans. All was going well until the end when he said, and he said this, rise up.
Oh no.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. That is the Falcons' way.
Yeah.
Maybe the most tone-deaf franchise since the Thrashers. I mean,
go through
how
that
long are they
rise
going
up
to keep
before-
pushing that tired, worthless slogan
It's not
on
a
people
thing.
that
It doesn't mean
reminds
anything.
everybody
What's the
of
civil
losing?
rights movement or something on the bus and black people in Birmingham? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Whoever came up with it needs to be thrashed, and everybody who keeps doing it and telling him to do it needs to, go away. They did renegotiate A.J. Terrell's contract to save $9 million under the salary cap. One former Falcon not mincing words about the dysfunction of Flowery Branch. Former Falcons offensive tackle, and he is offensive, Elijah Wilkinson, blasting his former team on social media days after signing with the equally dysfunctional Cardinals. The 31-year-old took the chance to dump on the Falcons, whom he played with for 3 of the past 4 seasons. After Atlanta fans responded with harsh comments, Wilkinson responded with the now deleted comment saying, "Good luck with that clown show over there, and have fun being ass next year." Yeah. He also did not spare his own former teammates, saying, "Ha ha ha, yeah, all right, and all the passes Darnell Mooney dropped and Kyle Pitts blanked off my line. Have fun rooting to lose the NFC South 28-3, 28-3. Ha 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 ha, laughing stock." Which, of course, he's referring to the loss in the Super Bowl to the Patriots, the most embarrassing loss on the field ever in the history of the Super Bowl.
Could well be there, yeah.
Of course, the Falcons owned the most embarrassing loss ever off the field when Eugene Robinson took the Christian
Father
Male
of the Year
Award and then tried to solicit a
pretty
Hummer and his Hummer right off the Miami.
To be a police
Strip
officer, a gendarme, yes.
Yeah. Thank goodness it was a male. I mean, I'm sorry, a female, but still. The Jets have traded former part-time Georgia quarterback Justin Fields to the Chiefs for a 6th-round pick in 2027. The 9th-place Hawks hosting the 7th-place Heat tonight. You're going to be there, I'm sure.
Quantisha's got a couple of seats, and we got a little room later because it could be a big game.
2 knees, no waiting. Miami now just a game and a half ahead of Atlanta in the East now that the Hawks have reeled off 9 wins in a row. Since the NBA has canceled the Hawks' tribute to Magic City, tragically. You'll have to bring your own stripper and lemon pepper wings to the game tonight.
Oh, I hate that.
For one night only, you can bring in your own stripper and lemon pepper wings. So.
As it should be.
I'm kidding about the wings. You can bring the stripper, though, but you just can't bring the wings in.
By the way, if you give your stripper money, if you give your stripper money to go buy drugs, she's not coming back. I'm just, that's for you folks.
Sounds like an autobiographical.
No.
That should be in your book.
No, I had a friend.
That should be the name of that chapter. The stripper ain't coming back.
She ain't coming back. I know she loves you. She loves you.
Gone with your money.
She loves you and everything, but she ain't coming back.
Yeah, they always love you. The NBA is about to expand by 2 teams, one in Las Vegas, the other, maybe another team in Seattle, which lost the Supersonics to Oklahoma City many moons ago. If approved, they'll start playing 2028.
Oh, wow.
So, let the March Madness begin. Duke, the favorite, plus 300 at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Wow.
Followed by fellow number 1 seeds Michigan at 360, Arizona at 390, defending national champ Florida. I completely forgot they won it last year.
Yeah, me
the
too.
4th number 1 seed at 750. No other team has odds shorter than plus 1,000. FanDuel says Arizona is the favorite, but the Blue Devils have the shortest odds at most sports books. Duke is the pre-tournament favorite for a 2nd straight year and 10th time overall. overall, tying North Carolina for the most tournaments as the favorite since 1979. The pre-tourney favorite has won 8 of the past 20 tournaments, so it's not a great predictor of who's going to go on and win it. By the way, you could fill out your thing. We're doing the 6A the fans doing one with Harris Cherokee.
Oh,
right
really?
north of me up here. So you should
Of the
fill
whole
out the bracket with
of
them.
the whole Sweet 64. Or where do we? Where's it start? 64? Is that where the
64?
How many? 64 teams?
Well, there's playing games too and stuff like that. Yeah. You can do that. Both the Bulldogs and Owls play Thursday night. Number 8 UGA playing the 9th seed St. Louis Billikens at 9:45 on CBS. Number 14 Kennesaw State against 3rd seed Gonzaga at 10 on TNT. So what the heck is a Billiken? What Jay has in the box. What's a Billiken?
I used to know this and I've forgotten. It's a clever little word and I can't remember. I used to know this and I can't remember.
Well, I'm glad you asked. A Billiken is a mythical good luck figure invented in 1908 by Missouri art teacher Florence Pretz, often described as a chubby imp with a pointed head, impish grin, and sitting posture. Not Florence, but the actual Billiken.
Well, I take it back. I never knew that what a Billiken was. And by the way, in basketball,
it's
I
like
watched
a brownie.
There you go. I watched a little bit of quick thing on a basketball last night or over the weekend, and I'm even with buzzer beaters. I'm telling you, I can't. It drives me nuts. They palm the ball, they walk, they change their pivot. I saw a guy take 4 steps and make a layup, a buzzer beater, and win the game. 4 steps. How could a ref not say, sorry, you didn't win after all? Sorry, it's a buzzer beater and everything, but he took 4 steps. I mean, the crowd would have probably hanged him.
I'll tell you what. Because the NBA has told the refs not to call that because they think that's entertainment. But most people are turning away from the NBA because of that. There's a guy who just did a video I watched an hour ago. It shows all the times these guys are traveling and no one
changing
calls it.
pivots. I mean,
basketball.
everything. Yeah, I try. It's not really not.
From our bad timing file, Alabama star Aiden Holloway arrested on felony drug charge 4 days before his team is set to play in the tournament. Tuscaloosa County Police arrested Holloway Monday morning, which was today, transported to the county jail after agents from the West Alabama Narcotics Task Force, or WENT, searched a residence near Bama's campus and recovered more than a pound of marijuana. Now, is that a lot?
Pound?
I don't know. Is that a lot of marijuana for one person?
That's got to be like $500 or $600. I'll bet you.
By the way, he was also charged with failure to affix a tax stamp. A tax stamp? What is this, 1765?
On his marijuana?
You got to put a tax stamp on your marijuana these days?
Boy, am I out of it.
He faces 10 years in jail and a fine of $15,000. He's their second leading scorer. They play Hofstra in Tampa Friday afternoon in the first round. And finally on this date, we lost in 2005, Dick Raditz, pitcher, all-star in the 60s, AL saves leader in the 60s for the Red Sox. Poor Dick died after falling down a flight of stairs. He was just 67.
Oh, my. That's Pete Davis, 531. So much more coming up here, too. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on your Monday on 106.3. How's it going? Look out.
You can stream Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station while you work at extra1063.com. Get the latest from the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Neil Boortz, and stay connected at the office. That's xtra1063.com.
Okay, I am no health insurance doctor, but I know who is a health insurance doctor, Steven. They call him doctor because he does this for like a decade or something. The health insurance doctor, and when you got your health insurance bill this month and you look at it and say, this is really expensive. And then if you use it, you're kind of afraid to use it. People are, because, all of a sudden you get these deductible things you didn't know about, and it's very confusing. And what do you do? And is this too expensive? But you can't not have it. Well, here's what the health insurance doctor, Steven, does for you. He will look at what you have, got a real example, and give you a straight shoot if there's something better way to do it. One family's got a true story, paying over $3,000 a month, now about $1,200, and they didn't sacrifice their coverage. It's not true for everybody, but it is possible. It works, and it might be for you. There are plans with PPO networks, no deductible options, year-round enrollment. You can talk about it, but do something about it. That's what Steven's here for. Get the straight shoot in a couple of minutes. Might surprise you how much you might be saving. Here's the number: 678-523-0759. HealthInsuranceDoctor.net.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
So you got into an argument. Things got heated. Then a fight broke out, and it landed you in jail. Now what? You need a second chance bail bonds. They can get you or your loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases, in a few hours. So make the right call. A second chance bail bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
Hi, it's Lowe's, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
You know, Lowe's, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, in a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%, or really it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or honestcarguy.com.
Hello.
Hey, is this Mike Fitzgerald?
No, I think you have the wrong number. Wish I could help you.
Well, you could if you were Mike Fitzgerald.
Who is Mike Fitzgerald?
Mike Fitzgerald is the only realtor I'll talk to because he can sell my house fast for a great price and even in this market.
Yeah, I'm definitely not Mike Fitzgerald.
Oh, I figured that out because Mike Fitzgerald would have sold my house already.
Selling your home? You need Mike Fitzgerald from the Harry Norman Realtors team. Visit brokermike.com or call 678-780-HOME.
They lied. They cheated. And they broke the law. Liberal losers forced illegal migration on hardworking Americans. But conservative businessman Rick Jackson is ready to fight back.
I don't care if you're Muslim or Mongolian. You don't have the right to force your culture on our country.
Corrupt career politicians let the invasion happen, then made it worse. But conservative businessman Rick Jackson isn't going to let them get away with it.
Too often, criminal illegals commit sick, violent crimes, victimize our children, and get away with murder. So here's my guarantee to them. Do that when I'm governor, and you'll end up deported or departed. Any questions?
It's time to win big for Georgia. Rick Jackson, the Trump-supporting, straight-talking, successful businessman with nothing to lose. Rick Jackson for governor.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
The Morning Extra, starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
They have nothing but pure emotion, the way that they respond to everything. How many times have you heard, you have to take the emotion out of it? Look at it from a logical point of view. That's what you have to do. Those on the left cannot do that. They're incapable of doing that in any scenario or any situation.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3.
Gotta go now. Here comes trouble. 1977. After being with their label for 6 days, the Sex Pistols were fired from A&M Records. It was pressure from other label artists and the L.A. head office. 1977, Sex Pistols' 25,000 copies of God Save the Queen were pressed, and the band made $127,000 from the deal. Sex Pistols. Weird story. Hold everything. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, but phone calls take priority. Marty's on the radio. Hey, Marty, how you doing? What's up, man?
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Yes,
Just wanted to comment on that pound of marijuana. That's a hell of a lot of marijuana for one person. Usually, it's hard to convince somebody you're going to smoke that all by yourself.
So a pound is a lot?
To distribute. Yes, it is.
I guess
split it in dime bags.
Well, you see, I'm I got to learn more about this because I thought I tried getting one of my friends gave me some of that marijuana cream, for like injuries and stuff. Man, is that stuff hard to light in those little pipes? I mean, it's just
you try to soak that thing. A little bit of ganja, a little bit of reefer, a pound of either. It's a lot.
I got to get with the program. Marty, have a great day, man. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, 404-741-1230. By the way, a quick sport or two birthday here, Pete Davis. Rodney Peete is 60 today, former NFL quarterback, married to Holly Robinson, the actress from Jump Street and Hang with Mr. Cooper. Anyway, let's see. Ozzie Newsome, Hall of Fame football guy, is 70 years old today, Ozzie Newsome. And Vlad Guerrero is 27 years old. And I have a... what's that?
Yeah.
Junior, 27. And I have a sports history note, which you probably remember in 1955. I mean, you remember from reading about it, not being alive at the time, as I was. In 1955, the commissioner-president of the NHL, Clarence Campbell, suspends Montreal Canadiens star hockey player Maurice Rocket Richard for the rest of the season and the playoffs because Rocket Richard attacked an opponent with a stick and then slugged a referee in the head. There were riots the next day at the Red Wings Canadiens game in Montreal. They had to cut the game short, and look what happened. This guy, Richard, 3 days earlier, Richard was leading the NHL. He got hit in the head with a high stick from a Boston Bruins guy, and the Boston Bruins guy got penalized, but Richard attacked him with his stick, and then when the referee tried to stop it all, he banged the referee with 2 hard blows to the face. Well, the commissioner now then suspended Richard for the rest of the year. And what happened was they said, now, Commissioner, you can't go to the next game. The next Red Wings and Canadiens game was going to be a problem. He said, I'm going. He stood up in defiance of the stands at the game, and as soon as the puck dropped, the fans threw everything at the commissioner. Their shoes, their food, their glasses, everything they could find. Security had to try to get long enough to shake one guy eluded security long enough to go up and shake the commissioner's hand and then slap him in the face. Somebody set off a tear gas bomb. A riot ensued in the streets. It became known as the Richard Riot. 16 people arrested. 33 were hurt, including several police officers. Damage was over $100,000. And the next day, Rocket Richard said, I went on TV. He said, he bet he had been suspended. I will take my punishment and come back next year to help the club and younger players win the cup. Rocket Richard died in year 2000, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1965. Anyway, what a story. 541, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. What's that? You got a little something there,
Rick the Painter.
Rick the Painter's on. Happy Monday, Rick the Painter. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I wanted to wish Pete happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Pete.
Oh, my goodness.
Happy birthday. Hey, can I say you? Hey, I saw, I've got a question to ask you, and it's because of what I saw.
Yeah.
I was floating down the river, and it was a nice deck, and these folks were jumping off the deck, and they were having fun, and it was their places, but 4 or 5 of them, and they were just... They didn't have any clothes on.
No clothes jumping off the deck.
And they didn't make no bones. And they didn't care. They was kind of like just showing off. But Kimmer, the thing is, I'm not fat shaming nobody because I can lose a few. I can lose a few pounds.
Yeah,
but
fat shame. Yeah.
The smallest one. They were jumping off, making cannonballs.
Oh, boy.
They were jumping off the deck and no clothes on. And the smallest one was 300 pounds.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Well, do you still call that skinny dipping?
Skinny dipping. If he was this large fatness of the skinny wouldn't be dipping a skinniness or anything like that.
All right, yeah. I got something for you. 3 guys in a boat have 4 cigarettes, but they got nothing to light it with.
3 guys in a boat, 4 cigarettes, nothing to light it. What do they do? Let's see. They would strike. Have a match to see who wins the 4th cigarette or something.
They throw 1 cigarette overboard, and the boat becomes a cigarette lighter.
A cigarette lighter. See the boat. Hi-oh. Cigarette lighter, you see.
You don't get this anywhere.
Yeah. So a pound of weed is a lot. Is that what you're saying, B?
I think it's a bit.
A lot for one guy.
Look, they'll show us for the YouTube people. Show us.
I have no idea. I've never seen
how much is a pound of marijuana.
I've never seen a pound of marijuana. Have you ever seen a pound of marijuana?
He's pleading the fifth.
You know, by the way, I got
along.
I got a feeling if you are in possession of a pound of marijuana,
it's dedication right there.
Man, that's got brutal. All right, anyway, 544, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-123, and also 0. Spring break's a problem. Did you see the video of them scrambling on the freaking beach in Daytona Beach, Florida? Gunfire, and the crowd went nuts, and people on their balconies are filming all this stuff. There have been 5 shootings in a matter of a couple of days at the Florida beach sides, like in Daytona, for spring break. And kids are getting out of control. The same thing happened at famous places in a neighborhood in Washington, D.C., and also in California at one of the Hollywood Hills type places.
It's all Irish kids. Yeah. Everybody, you see the video, it's all Irish.
Well, it's St. Patty's Day, which is
Black
tomorrow.
Irish.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't want to say the word the old Irish goodbye, all right, when they're streaking away from the gunfire. But anyway, and just a cop got shot a couple of times by a guy that then they shot him. I mean, it's just, anyway.
But Tybee Island got to the point where they just closed all the businesses and said, it was like Freaknik, little Freaknik.
Well, and a lot of them are doing it, especially places like Daytona and where my daughter got caught, my daughter Jennifer, on spring break years ago in college, and she called me from jail. And I've quickly told the story, and she called me from the jail, and I said, let me talk to the cop. And I talked to the police officer. I said, did she do anything bad? Did she hurt anybody? And he said, no, she just with them. They were drinking, underage drinking. And I said, is she okay? He said, yeah. And I said, is she in danger? He said, no. And I said, well, then keep her there for the night. Don't let her out. Do not let her out of jail. Keep her in jail for the night. And then with her friends, and they'll just make a party out of it. But still, I kept her in jail for the night because she was safe. She was safe and sound there and everything else. But it was, a lesson to be learned that, you got caught and suffer your punishment. And again, it was a minor thing but it was something that Daddy had to make sure she understood, to make the point of it all, even though it might be a little painful for a while. But she still loves me. 546, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder on your Monday on 106.3. 404-741-1230. If you want to do tweets, I think we got tweets. You have tweets? Let's do some tweets. Coming up next. Here we go.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru. Now through March 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Gwinnett. Explore the full lineup of hybrid, electric, gas, and wilderness vehicles, including the 2026 Subaru Forester and the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. Every Subaru is made with love and built to last, with dependability and value coming standard. Whether you're looking to match your adventurous spirit with the 2026 Subaru Outback or land on the reliability of the 2026 Subaru Forester, Subaru of Gwinnett has the perfect fit for your family. You'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. And the 2026 Subaru Legacy is what happens when we put the best of Subaru into a sedan. Plus, every Subaru model comes equipped with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. There's a lot to discover and a lot to love at Subaru of Gwinnett. Come in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
The Georgia Swarm are celebrating the best sports fans in the South. Join us for Fan Appreciation Night on Friday, March 20th at Gas South Arena in Duluth. Be there for giveaways and a post-game autograph session on the field. It's all presented by Coastal States Bank. Swarm fans, you guys make the high buzz, and we want to thank you so much. Get your professional lacrosse tickets today at GeorgiaSwarm.com for Friday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m. Gas South Arena. That's GeorgiaSwarm.com.
Of all the radio ads I've ever done, I only advertised one thing that I think saved my life. My CPAP machine. Sleep apnea. And I found the best CPAP dealer out there ever. Roddy at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. CPAPsETC.com. Everything you need, all the supplies, shipped anywhere at a price that often beats insurance. CPAPsETC.com. Go take a peek now.
Immaculately designed and manicured backyards can significantly enhance your property's value and visual appeal. And by adding a customized, professionally designed and installed artificial putting green from ATL Turf Co., it'll take your home to the next level. ATL Turf Co.'s custom greens are designed to replicate tournament-level green conditions with realistic ball bounce, roll, and speed, and has a stimp meter of 10 to 12.5. So maybe it's time to consider artificial turf.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turf Co. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to ATLTurfCo.com to schedule an appointment.
Did your security provider sell your account to another company? Or are you unhappy with your current security service? I'm Matt Harvey with Alert 360 Security. We protect the homes and businesses of over 12,000 of your friends and neighbors right here in Metro Atlanta. Our award-winning customer service and 5-diamond certified monitoring start at just $15.95 a month. Switching to Alert 360 is easy. Visit Alert360.com to learn more. Sign up in March and get a free electronic door lock. Protect what matters most with Alert 360.
Celebrate National Peanut Month in March with the powerhouse of great nutrition, Georgia Peanuts. Packed with protein, essential nutrients, and good taste, Georgia Peanuts are now a better snack choice for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To learn more health benefits with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut, and this message is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Sponsored by the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Attention, Antifa, human traffickers, cartels, and woke DAs. With Chris Carr as governor, you won't stand a chance.
I'm Chris Carr. In Georgia, we will prosecute you. It's easy for politicians to talk tough, but I'm the only Republican who put gangs, human traffickers, and Antifa behind bars. I even fought Obama, Biden, and Abrams in court and won. If you're attacking our police or our freedoms, I'll be your worst nightmare.
Chris Carr doesn't just talk tough. Carr had the courage, brought the cases, and locked up the criminals. He has more than 120 gang convictions. Over 200 human trafficking victims have been rescued and seized enough fentanyl to kill 3.5 million Georgians. Carr's taking on the woke left, making crime illegal again. As governor, Chris Carr will keep up the fight and never back down. Chris Carr, governor. Real fights, real wins, real conservative. Paid for by Carr for Georgia.
Here we go. This was a huge hit. In Advance, the Beatles. 1964, the Beatles set a record for advance sales in America with more than 2 million copies of this single, Can't Buy Me Love. Advance sale record. By the way, when they were pressed by American reporters in 1966 to reveal the song's true meaning, Paul McCartney said, "I think you can put any interpretation you want, but when someone suggests that Can't Buy Me Love is about a prostitute, I draw the line." He didn't really answer the question, but take the high road, that's fine. Let's see. A quick birthday note. Alan Tudyk I think that's how you pronounce him. Alan Tudyk is that weird guy, great actor, 55 years old, resident alien. He was in Knight's Tale. And really quite a character. Alan Tudyk's 55.
Firefly.
There you are. And Eric Estrada, Frank Poncherello on Chips. Eric Estrada, 77. And Victor Garber, with Jennifer Garner's double agent dad on Alias, also on DC Legends of Tomorrow. Victor Garber is 77 years old today. And I have a very bizarre, we got tweets coming up here. I got a very bizarre history thing, which I see how you feel about this. In 1881, how times were different. Chico Forster is a guy shot to death in Los Angeles on the street by his lover, Lastania Abarta, who was 18. This is in 1881. 18-year-old lover sees her lover on the street and kills him. The 40-year-old guy was the son of a wealthy land developer, reputation for womanizing. She worked in her parents' pool hall, sang, played the guitar, met the customers. All of a sudden, she was invited to a party by the former governor of Mexico. They lost a bunch of land. She changed lyrics to talk about the guy. Anyway, she ran off with this 40-year-old guy to the local hotel. They made love after he promised to marry her, and then he disappeared. Didn't have a ring, had no priest to perform a ceremony, and so she and her sister started combing the city looking for her lover. They found him at a racetrack gambling and dragged him physically to their carriage for a trip to go to church to get married. Foster got out of the cab on the way. The women followed closely behind until the 18-year-old girl pulled out a gun and shot him dead in the eye. Outraged by his son's untimely death, the billionaire big-time Charlie father hired a special prosecutor to make sure that she was punished. The lawyers tried a novel defense in the 1880s, America's obsession with female hysteria. Medical theory said women could be driven crazy because of their reproductive system. The testimony from her doctor, applause from the spectators in the courtroom when he said this. They stood up and cheered. Any virtuous woman, when deprived of her virtue, would go mad undoubtedly. The jury of all men took 20 minutes and found her not guilty, and she disappeared forever. I don't think you could do that. Anyway, 5:55. Kara Pete and Flounder. How's it going? Well, speaking of St. Patty's Day stuff, did you hear about the woman in Kentucky? This sounds like happens in New Orleans every Mardi Gras. St. Patty's Day parade in Kentucky over the weekend. A woman was following the annual St. Patty's Day in Louisville. I'm sorry, that's Louisville. And she was with dozens of people looking with grandparents lining the streets. And she was in her 50s walking by the float filled with hay bales hitched to a pickup truck. Her foot got caught in the vehicle and she was dragged under the float and run over in front of everybody. And this happens every year pretty much at Mardi Gras, whether you're killed or not, but they get dragged under and people are reaching for doubloons and get hit by it's just silly. I mean, it's tragic, horribly tragic, but it's, also pretty horrible. Let's see. Oh, I don't have a problem with this. An off-duty police captain in New York City, a 42-year-old captain, grabbed a 67-year-old guy, threw him to the ground, beat the crap out of him with his fist, kicked him with his legs and the face and everything else, and then tried to choke him out. This captain police officer was arrested and charged with assault. Turns out the guy he beat up, the 67-year-old man, had been charged with a whole bunch of creepy crimes, including forcible touching, endangering the welfare of children, sexual abuse in the third degree, grabbing a 15-year-old girl's breast, squeezing her, trying to kiss her, and the young girl is a relative of the police captain, who then found the guy and beat the living crap out of him. Good. And the lawyer, I don't have a problem with that. And his lawyer says, well, he did nothing criminal. When the facts come out, the public will understand what happened here. By the way, the scumbag is on release. See, they let him out. Yeah. I said, don't go near that girl you were trying to rape, but you can be free until your trial next month. New York. Yeah, sure. There's no problem after you get out of the hospital. Anyway. I love it. Let's see what else we got here. No, I don't want to do that story. There's a judge's order in Las Vegas where a judge said, I want you to release this guy from jail. He's a repeat offender with 35 arrests. And the Supreme Court has taken the case because the suspect is too dangerous to leave jail. And the judge said, you got to let him go because that's the deal with electronic monitoring, and the sheriff won't let him out. The sheriff says, I'm not letting him out. He's dangerous. He's got 35 arrests, prison time for drugs, manslaughter, killing people. And the judge said, well, we have to let him out because, monitor electronically stuff. And so the sheriff said, I'm not doing it. So now they have to go to the Supreme Court to decide whether a career criminal who's dangerous gets to be put out on the street because of some judge's order. I mean, astounding what's going on in our country. Anyway, hey, Flounder, we got one more Flounder's funny on what's turned out to be a study.
I trust the least. And this time I needed a root canal. Wasn't even hurting. He's like, you need a root canal. And I was like, which tooth? He's like, whichever one you want. Just pick a tooth. Make some extra cash for the holidays. I was like, I can't afford a root canal. I was like, what are those, like $3,000? He goes, they're not $3,000. He said like I was an idiot. He's like, they're not $3,000. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not a dentist. And you don't have a menu with prices on it, okay? I was like, how much do they cost? He said $1,800, which is a little frustrating because I feel like I was in the ballpark. It's not like I said $75,000. I was pretty close. They did the root canal, which was fine. And then afterwards, he's like, now you need a crown. And I was like, how much does the crown cost? And with a straight face, he said $1,200. I swear to God, that's not even a joke at all. I was like, what? I'm sorry, that sounds an awful lot like $3,000. You could have at least given me the satisfaction of nailing it. I should get both prizes for getting the.
and now your homeowner game of
Mr. Joe List right there.
Oh, I love it.
One of my favorites.
Oh, outstanding. All right, boy, happy birthday, Pete Davis, and a million more. I hope you have a great time partying tonight and after the weekend and everything else too. In the meantime, boys, tomorrow, all over again. Here we go.
Have fun.
There you go. I'm working on it. In the meantime, Christine, sing me home, baby. I gotta go. You're killing me. Look out. Herb, happy birthday, Pete Davis. Look out.
The Kimmer Show is live on your ride home on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station, Extra 106.3.
Standing by his statement. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. As the U.S. and Israeli strikes against Iran under week 3, President Trump said again he believes Iran would use a nuclear weapon if given a chance.
The only question is within 1 hour if they get it or 1 day. They will use it and they will blow up the entire Middle East, not just Israel.
The president saying Iran was called the bully of the Middle East, but he says it's now a shell of itself. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says the American people want answers on the reasoning for the Iran strikes.
The administration has not even made the case to the American people as to why we are spending billions of dollars and dropping bombs every day in Iran, while at the same period of time doing nothing about the affordability crisis, which Donald Trump continues to insist is a hoax.
The president contends the affordability crisis is over and has said oil and gas prices will come down once the action in Iran is over. On his planned visit to China, the president said he has requested a delay of about a month or so because of the action in Iran. More than half the country under extreme weather alerts, blizzards burying parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, Mid-Atlantic, and parts of the Northeast dealing with torrential rains, including Washington, D.C.
The entire Washington, D.C. region is under a tornado watch until 7 p.m. That line of storms is already ripping through the middle of the country. It has largely hit north and west of D.C. so far. The forecast here shows the potential for heavy rain, wind gusts later this evening up to 80 miles an hour, hail, even tornadoes.
Fox's Rich Edson in Washington. More than 12,000 flights have been delayed or canceled today due to weather. Wall Street, the Dow up 387 points. The NASDAQ added 268. The S&P plus 67. The price of crude oil fell toward $93 a barrel after topping $102 this morning. America's listening to Fox News.
Here he comes. Surprise! The people of
of your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. So loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself.